realize the validity of those things. And it's not about what I think. It doesn't motherfucking matter what I think. It matters what you think, right? And the validity of your manifestations, right? So I hit the live button. Nobody can hear you, only can hear me. But I thought a reflection could, because I scheduled a live, so I thought that it was important to do it. And I wanted to let the audience. No, 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 no. You're in the background. I've been writing on. Yeah, go ahead. Well, you can watch the stream, and we can continue to interact. And I just thought I would, since we're push. Yeah, do so. Of course, we're pushing the hour here. I yeah, I got to announce the show real quick. So I had recently written some things here for the Whispering Storm, and welcome, Wayfarer, Wanderer, and Wild Cadillac, wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you may be receiving this transmission. Welcome once again to the Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, Twilight Zone Old Peking. Frank Monday coming at you with another one. Here we are again, like Finnegan. And make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe, all that happy horse shit that makes YouTube's algorithms bark like Pavlov's dog. So I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about the recent invocation I had done for the 100-day challenge, Pathways of the Psionists. And I wanted you to explore with me the various pathways that we go up in connecting with divine inspiration. And so the first few days that we've already been through here in week 1 is the guided meditations, right? And so we did a short 15-minute guided meditation at the beginning of the coursework just for bodily awareness, right? You take a deep breath, inhale, and relax. Imagine that source of energy above your head. You see it there, the divine light radiating out, down, the Ein Sofer, as they call it in Hebrew, that limitless light with limitless entropy as well, sucking it back in. So you have this concourse, this back and forth of the yin and yang, and you pull it into the mind palace, what in Chinese Tao they call the crystal palace of the mind, as if you're on a crystal outcrop on the side of a mountain, and you've climbed all the way up there and then walked out onto this giant quartz crystal outcropping, and you're viewing the sky for what seems like the first time, and the clouds part and the full moon is there illuminating the sky. That's what it's all about, that full moon experience, the sun and moon at their zenith, and the North Star above you guiding you home. And so you let that energy descend into you. Take another deep breath. Relax all of the muscles of the face. Let all tension go. Let all emotion be removed from your countenance. And sink deep down into the lower part of the skull. What we call this the jade pillow on the back of the head. It's where the brain stem connects to the neck and the spine. It's where the head sits. I mean, think of all the energy, that the neck and shoulders have to endure holding your head up. You know, when you're a baby, your head's like 1/3 of your entire body weight. And as you grow into adulthood, maybe it's a sixth. You could do your anatomical research, but it's a heavy thing holding up that basketball, and let all of that relax. Try to find that oscillation point where the head is at perfect balance. It's not too forward. You're not holding it up, leaning forward, caving in like a shrimp. Uh, Chinese parents will tell their children that they look like a shrimp if they're leaning forward over their books too much. And they say, hey, lean back, elevate your spine, and roll the shoulders back a little bit, let them sink, puff the chest out. And then at the same time, as you puff everything out, you also bring it down in center line. The chin tucks, the sternum tucks, and everything is relaxed and perfectly plumb. This is where the Freemasons and their instruction come in quite handy. The entire spinal column is aligned with the plumb as if a string is attached to the top of your head at the crown point, lifting it up with a balloon. So there's a little balloon, little red balloon. If you like the 99 red balloons, right? They're floating above the head and they're pulling up from the crown. Chin tucks down slightly, eyes gazing at heaven. Continue that transmission of the divine energy, the divine orientation down into the body at the chest level, the heart level. Expose your heart. As Conan the Barbarian said in the great movie, right? Conan was wandering out into the wilderness, and the priest, asked him. He said, why do you wear your robe, warrior? You have such a beautiful body. Why not share it with the world? And uh, Conan took him behind the bush and killed him, right? But that's the point of the thing, is that you should be proud of your body. You're so well grown, right? And so that's the heart center. It's a joyous type of thing, a bubbling of emotion and emanation of Christ consciousness, that you're at one with humanity. And then the energy continues to sink down in. Now we're going into the lower, darker regions of the infernal Dantean, where the little devil sits and he's agitated. He really wants to get at it. He wants to fuck something, someone, the entire universe. He wants to fuck it all, right? Yeah, he wants to penetrate into the material. That's the spirit. It's descended within you and it wants to be realized. However, this is the impulse that we have to control and revert, and not reach out for that physical contact, that flesh, that beautiful flesh, right? The voluptuous curves of the arms and the neck, kissing, fondling, and titillating. We have to resist this. Yeah, we have to back off a little bit. That's right. And let that let that essential charge run back up the spine and complete its concourse. This is the microcosmic orbits, the rising of the Kundalini. And within Tao, it happens within a single breath. A single breath. You inhale the spirit in, let it descend to the depths of your physical being, all the way to the heels of your feet. Why do we say the heels? Because it reaches all the way down into Malkuth, the kingdom, and expresses itself with a deep connection to the prime material plane, the earth sphere. And then as you bring it back up and exhale, it completes its circuit. This is the microcosmic orbit, the small orbit, right? When you can control this for a long enough period, like we're doing on the pathways of the psionists, right? The psionic agents, then it will expand through the four limbs out into the greater cosmos, and it will become a macrocosmic orbit. Now your little divine spark, your chi particle, will reach beyond the physical body into the astral and shedding the etheric and all the way out into the cosmos. And now it is a cosmic body. And that's what we're seeking to achieve in this first week of the, yeah. Welcome. We've got a visitor in the ideas room. Rude Girl is here and she says, good morning. Good morning to you, Rude Girl. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your time and for tuning in to the transmission, as it were, right? And I would like to remind everyone that I am your Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, friend and well-wisher Frank Monday. This is the 100-day challenge, Pathways of the Zionists. Make sure you hit the likes and subscribe, all that happy horseshit that makes YouTube function correctly. Check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Money. Put a little something in the tip jar. That keeps the lead in my pencil, right? The pep in my step, the jelly in my donut. And how else are we going to be able to get things done? We haven't even reached 1,000 subs yet, guys. We got to do this in 2025. We've only got 200 to go, and we're there. We're so close, so close. Let's start today's transmission with a short prayer. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible, master of both the light and the darkness, he who was, is, and shall be. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Send us one of your divine spiritual agents, our holy guardian angel, to protect and guide us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, and a cleansing wind to disperse all negativity and endless human opinion. Teach us those secret things which we must know for the completion of the great work and the glory of thine ineffable name, Adonai. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. Ra. Yeah, and the great work, what is it, right? But perfection of man and woman by themselves through the cultivation of Celestia Arcana, the celestial teaching. And what is it? So easy to follow, right? It's the sun and the moon in their concourse. And that's why the ancients dictated that the sun is the fiery masculine energy, always reaching out, always trying to penetrate, radiating out into the world. And woman is the moon energy, the receptive energy, the prima materia, right? She is the vessel, the receptacle of this penetrating energy. And they are in an eternal dance, back and forth, a grim fandango, as it were, right? Oscillating back and forth, back and forth. And so that's why so many people in this situation, they don't know what's going on, right? They try to reach above and beyond, but they don't even have the foundation of the understanding that within this realm, we are here to do what we are here to do, right? In Zen Buddhism, they tell us, when hungry, eat, when thirsty, drink, when tired, sleep, and when horny, fuck, get out there and get it done. And sometimes what you're thirsty for or you need to drink is this, that, or the other thing. And you never know what you're going to run into. We have a visitor out in Happy Land, right? There's someone tuning in, old Ricardo Sunshine. Good to see you again, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Make sure you like and subscribe, and that'll keep us moving along, right? You could consider a one-time coffee donation at over old Buy Me a Coffee. Join the Discard at Lunar Light Entertainment. Of course, at Lunar Light Entertainment, there are more behind-the-scenes conversations, and that always helps us get us done. As per usual, we are always open to paranormal encounters. So if you have had a paranormal encounter recently, and 10 p.m. on Friday, so like, free gift from God, motherfucker, in the house. This is a true abbot of the Esoteric Order of Dagon Eastern Star Division, OG motherfucker in the house. It is, yeah, it's 10 p.m. on a Thursday night. Free gift from God. As long as my VPNs will connect, guys, I will try to transmit every Tuesday and Thursday. Possibly just on Wednesdays, because Tuesdays and Thursdays might be reserved for meetings with the High Priestess of the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Um, but yeah, here we are, like Finn again, right? Once again, I will throw on a little bit of background music to make sure y'all good looking sexy people are having a good time. Let's see here. Yeah. And that will help us to begin breaking free from trance. Now, it's one day after the day on which Frater Tomas Sund left this world and went beyond. He went into the ancient cemetery where all people are laid to rest. And as we contemplate death, right? Think about the ancient poets who wrote to us about this thing. Yeah. William Cullen Bryant comes to mind with his poem Thanatopsis, which he wrote in 1817, 200 years ago. And he says at the end here, the very last paragraph that all kids in high school tend to memorize, he says, "So live that when thy summons comes to join the innumerable caravan which moves to that mysterious realm where each shall take his chamber in the silent halls of death. Thou go not like the quarry slave at night, scourged to his dungeon, but sustained and soothed by an unfaltering trust approach thy grave, like one who wraps the drapery of his couch about him and lies down to pleasant dreams." And that's what it's all about, right? He goes through the entire thing, and the most striking thing about this to me is that as a transcendentalist and an American, he didn't seem to believe in the immortal soul. That for him, it seems to be lights out. But at the same time, he thought, fuck, if it is going to be lights out, if when you get to the end of your life, it's just game over, then fuck, why worry about it? Just go forward, as he says. But I don't buy into it. I've seen too much. I've seen a reality beyond this prime material plane. Like Carl Jung in his 80s. I heard this for the first time just a few years ago. And I had been saying this for the last 20 years because I'm here in China, and it's discouraged that you try to instill any type of belief into your students about religiosity or God or anything of this, because the official religion in China is atheism. And so to espouse anything other than pure scientific materialism will get you fired from your job, essentially. And so I was in a good job, and I had a nice office, and I was downtown, and I was making a lot of money, and they had sent in some spies to check on me. And because they had heard some rumors, that I occasionally talk about the Spirit of God and instill my students with an other than atheistic view. And they felt a little bit paranoid about this. So there was one gal checking up on me. And she came in. I remember the entire line of questioning. There was a bunch of horse shit. And I'm like, you know, I'm just surrounding it around literature. I said, you can't teach Western literature without reference to Christianity and God and all of these things because we're steeped in it. I mean, our entire canon mentions it at every turn, right? So there's no way to avoid God, is what I told her. You know, this is me skirting the edges. And she said that I'm going to ask you directly, do you believe in God? And I said, that's a strange question. I said, but no, I don't believe in God. And I contemplated a little further, right? I said, because belief is very superficial. I said, there's a huge difference, but I know God, and I don't have to believe in Him. And I referenced this back, and I said, you don't believe in God, do you? Put the question back to her, right? You don't believe in God, do you? Yeah, of course. No, of course not. Atheism is the only way. You know, there's nothing. It all arises from, you know, chemical creations. And I said, yeah. I said, that's good, because God doesn't believe in you either. Motherfucker. I don't believe in God. Yeah, well, fantastic, because God doesn't believe in you either. And when you step away from God, that's all you have, man. You don't believe in God. Fantastic, because God's not going to believe in you. And why should He, right? Well, he or she or whatever. And so the main point being, I heard this much later, about 10 years later, I heard Carl Jung say this in a video here on YouTube in a short. And he's like, someone had asked him in an interview, and he's like in his 80s, like 86, 87, something like that. And they said, hey, you know, doctor, professor, do you believe in God? And he said, believe. What say you, man? I don't remember the exact quote, but he said, I don't need to believe in God. I know God. And it was quite eloquent the way he said it, but it was he said it 10 years later than I said it. Obviously, he said it much prior to when I said it, but it was a funny thing, you know, because it's true. Like, if you believe in God, then you're a fool. It was Albert Einstein. There's a quote from Albert Einstein, and he said that if you're speaking to a person, man, he said man, but if you're speaking to a man who says that he doesn't believe in God, then you're speaking to a fool. Now, that's an Albert Einstein quote, right? So you see a man that was entirely scientifically minded and brought us the entire foundation. That's good. I could appreciate that free gift from God. And free gift from God. How the fuck are you, man? Are you in the house? Are you ready to stream live online right now, man? I invite you. Let me see here. Are we connected via? Yeah, I do believe so. So we are connected via the Lunar Light Discord, man. And I just put the link. If you've got time and willingness and power to join me, then do so, man, because I haven't talked to you in a long time. And you remembered my birthday, amigo. You remembered my birthday. Fuck, there are very few people in Happy Land. I've been broadcasting on the internet for 20 plus years, well, close to 20 years, I guess. When did I start YouTube? I started YouTube about 10 years ago, but yes, Matt, with no hesitation, check the Discord. I put it in there. I put the StreamYard link in there if you want to join me and you want to throw back and forth a little before we open it up to the broader audience, as it were. Yeah, so Rude Girl Act's birthday. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it was just a little while ago, man. A couple of weeks, something like that. I'm 50 something years old, man, pushing into the abodes of the night. And Free Gift from God's a good member of the channel. It's been around here since like day one, since like coast to coast transmissions when we were pulling people over from the old coast to coast after party. And additionally, he turned me on to chaos magic, which is something I didn't know anything about. Yeah, he asks, how did you celebrate? I'm still celebrating, right? I celebrated by honoring the equinox. I went out into the woods. There's a big wilderness section south of the academy where I work at. It's like huge. It's acres. It's like 100 acres of just wooded forests. And I found a little patch where nearby my academy. It's not too far where I could head out, smoke a joint or something. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be fun if like there were mushrooms out here? And under the full moon, mushrooms started to appear. None of them blued though. Like I picked them, and I'm like, yeah, I wanted mushrooms, and mushrooms just appear. And it's how the mind works. It's how the magical mind of a wizard works. It's like, hey, I wish there were some mushrooms around here. And then the next day you go out, there's mushrooms everywhere. It's just fucking, it's that fast. When you learn the magical method, manifestation of one's intentions like happen almost immediately. It's undeniable. And so then I thought, wow, it'd be cool if there was a place to sit out here and under these pine trees. And I thought, man, I could get out here and clear away some of the pine needles and make a little magic circle and chill, maybe even shooting some videos, like do a banishing ritual, the pentagram video for my channel. The next day, there was like an IE, just like a maid class cleaner type janitor gal, and she was out there clearing the area I had just looked at and setting stones. And she set an entire like 4 square foundation of stones with seats up against the trees. And now every time I go out there, I've got like this little courtyard to sit in, and like these seats up against the trees, and it all happened within days. And so magic's a real thing, man. Like the world will form itself around you. It really will, like it's just the way it works. Like I'm not gonna say that's gonna fucking happen. Hey, Mary at Sea Levels in the house, good to see you again, Mary. Good looking out for some shrooms. Yeah, the thing that baffles me though, every time I reach out and I try to erupt blue mushrooms with bluing, like with the actual psychedelic aspect to them, they never appear. It's always these woody white mushrooms that have no vim and vigor in them. So there's something wrong in my incantations that way, because there should be dank magical mushrooms appearing, not just these. But I mean, they're nutritious, they're good mushrooms. They're woody mushrooms. You can cut them up and put them in a salad and eat them directly. But for some reasons, like there's some ban on any type of hallucinogenic elements within this kingdom. And maybe it's because the emperor, the great golden dragon that swings his fucking dick in the sky over here, just doesn't want to let it happen. And that's okay. He doesn't know that I'm the 9th son of the celestial emperor, and I will at some point transform those mushrooms into good mushrooms. But with that being said, so I had a great dinner. I took my kids out to the Cheesecake Factory, and I ordered a mousse cheesecake, giant mousse cheesecake. Here's the crazy thing, man. It costs 150 kwai for a big piece of the chocolate mousse cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory. And this Cheesecake Factory here in Beijing is even superior to the original cheesecake factory in Los Angeles. Yeah, it is, man. I went home in 2017 and I went to the one in Santa Monica and I went to the one in Bel Air and I went to like all the OG cheesecake factories and they were run shit compared to the ones here, man. We have one here on Wangfujing Street, like the center of Beijing, right along the axis of I try them all. I usually get like 3 pieces of cake or something. But 150 kwai, that's basically like $20 for a piece of cheesecake. Their Caesar salad with grilled chicken on it, it's like $20. So I ended up spending like, I don't know, $50 or $100, something like that. But really, really good meal. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Went to a little Italian restaurant throughout the day. We did a long walk. We like to look at the city. We've got a beautiful city here, guys. Our city here in Beijing is like comparable to New York, Chicago, LA, any of the great American cities at this point. The Chinese have really like hustled. They've busted ass to clean up their country and make it. And not that it was ever bad, you know, to talk about the thousands of years of development, but they've really modernized quite rapidly, and they're on a level that should make the U.S. stop and consider, and our Canadian brothers as well. Our 51st state, you know, we're going to break you guys away from the Commonwealth. The United Kingdom, jolly old England, doesn't have any authority over you anymore. You know, we're going to kick old Trudeau. What is your prime minister's name? Is Trudeau. They call him Trudeau in China, which means potato head. But we're going to kick him to the curb. Old Presidente 47 is going to take over and let you guys be the 51st state. I like that a lot. Marriott Sea Level says the chat's really rolling by tonight, guys. A lot of good fucking sexy people out there in Happy Land. Power in the chat with all kinds of ideas. Says mine's extreme calorie rich, so I can a wine glass. Yeah, I'm having a bit of beer for myself. Woohoo! I like that old movement. Good. Let's see. Okay, guys. So I posted the link in the Discord. So if you do want to join the chat and talk about it, then definitely check out the Discord and link up. That's only an open invitation so far to Free Gift from God, Marriott Sea Level, Rude Girl, etc. Then you will know. If not, then you're not behind the scenes. And you got to get behind the scenes, right? Why not? Why not go over to Buy Me a Coffee? Get a subscription to the Frank Monday channel. Check it out. Check it out, y'all. From the top, Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon. All hail the Mother Hydra. All hail the Father Dagon. Cthulhu has arisen. The stars have aligned, everyone. And you guys saw it, right? During the December transition, all of the planets aligned, the wandering stars aligned in the sky and formed what they call the cosmic sword, right? It's like some sort of planetary alignment. And it happened again in March, right around the time of my birthday. Quite interesting. That's kind of what inspired me for the 100-day challenge pathways of the psionists. See, a lot of people these days, they don't even know what psionics is, right? But this is an age-old term from sci-fi, like during the 1950s, and then like Dungeons and Dragons brought it back out during like the 70s and 80s. And it's all about the mind power, that thoughts have weight. You think a thought, and it actually has emanation and power and weight, and it radiates. Telepathy is real. Telekinesis is possible. But I got to be honest with you, like telekinesis, it's a very difficult thing to achieve in even a modicum of movement. And my old kung fu master Li Huaqin of the Universal Society of the Integral Way, he told a great story about telekinesis and how difficult it is. But yeah, it can happen. It can happen. You can do it. Yeah, let's see. That's the last blurb there. Make sure you guys check me out on buymeacoffee.com. All right. You got to keep the pep in my step. Keep me rolling with the punches. The lead in my pencil is, and I got to ask you, is your pencil sharpened, right? Have you been keeping your pencil sharp? Have you been keeping the edge on, sharpening the saw, you know, grinding down with what is that? Grinding down away at the wood to craft something of interest, right? Because that's what it's all about, right? You've got to create because creation is the way of God and it's the way. All right, Ricardo Sunshine's still in the house. He likes tiramisu. Tiramisu is like a coffee cake, right? Isn't that what that is? Yeah. Japanese. It sounds like a Japanese word. It's Italian. Oh, okay. Italian. I'm not an Italian, guys. I'm a German Irish Jew, but I do appreciate my Italians. I watched Scarface, The Godfather. Good God, man. Those guys were in control of the whole fucking thing, right? Did the Italian mafia kill JFK? What do you think? Is that what happened? They might have, right? Oh, it's gnarly, man. Gnarly. So normal. You heard it on the Monday show. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Okay. Well, I have opened the chat to the Discord and we have had no takers. So we're going to go ahead and post it here in the ideas room. There it is, guys. Let's talk about it. We have got open lines for paranormal encounters. So if you want to tune in and you want to call in, make sure that you're interested in discussing something unusual that's happened, right? I've talked about all of the like something strange and unusual that's occurred in your life, right? What have you done? Have you ever grabbed a hold of those melons and the melon seller, he's like, don't touch those fucking melons, you're gonna pay for those, and you're thumping away on them and you're like, I don't want to taste them, right? I don't get my hands in this. yeah, no, he's not gonna sell them cheap anyway, right? You got to pay up, got to drop some big coin. Y'all, good looking sexy people. Go to buymeacoffee.com. Yeah, put a little something in the tip jar. So yeah, you could talk about astrology. I love astrology. In fact, I wear the zodiacal crown of the celestial realm upon my head, and I let it rotate. You know, it cruises around, and yeah, it's a good thing. I mean, astrology is the foundation of a lot of our magic. You have to know the times and the signs, the omens. Yeah, you got to stay in tune with it. In fact, I'm so fucking far out of tune right now because I've dug myself down into the work, the semester of work, which for me entails, oh, holy fuck. One of the greatest guys on in my life just sent me a couple messages here in the background. Troy's team. We just watched the Troy's team video, the Kung Fu video. We did some really great work together, and recently he produced a video that was fucking dynamite. And I reached out to him earlier in the day, and I was like, "Fuck, Troy, this fucking so good, so good." Good fun. Oh, I got you. Miss Mary Moon out of Sea Level. She says, I have joined before, but I can't today. Is there something place? I got you. Not to worry. No stories, man. We've got some green text that we're going to post on 4chan. All right. We're working on a little story here. The Whispering Swarm. Our ship, the Lady Astara, jumped violently, shaking me from my meditative trance. I slipped into staring out the cockpit window. The red glare of warning sensor lights going off all over the control boards. I snapped to attention and went straight into military protocol for such a situation. Having spent 5 years in the Space Marines, I was no stranger to getting shit done in sticky situations. I quickly checked to see if anything had struck the ship and if there were any indications of a hull breach. There weren't, and it didn't seem that any space junk was floating in our path. So I quickly went about resetting sensor apps and checking through all necessary clicks to calm down the crescendo of useless alert windows. There you guys go. First paragraph in the new chapter in the book we're writing here. Another one in a long line of books that don't get published because there just ain't any money in it. Ain't no money in publishing books anymore. Next, I set about checking all the exterior cameras on the ship to see if there was any visible problem. There wasn't. Lieutenant Mines was laid back in his chair and had slept through the entire thing. The whining of the sirens and alarms had no effect on his drunken stupor. A couple of weeks ago, we had been partially paid in whiskey by some pseudo-Irish smugglers for making an outer rim run to deliver a refugee from the authorities to a safe house on a distant moon of the Jovian Allied system. The motherfucker wasn't any refugee. He was more likely a criminal smuggler of the Irish Revolutionary Affiliation, a group of outer rim marauders that mostly robbed cargo vessels of the Empire, the outer rim, and claimed they wanted to rebuild the Irish state of the old world. They were filled with a kind of romantic idealism based on age-old stories and folklore from Earth before the fall. Lieutenant Mines was an ex-IRA purist and loved whiskey. He likely already drank half of what we had on board. "Wake up, shit dick," I jostled him by the arm and nearly pushed him out of his chair. He woke with a start. "Fuck you, motherfucker. Fight me like a man, you asshat," he challenged, righting himself and taking off his helmet. "What the fuck are you waking me up for?" He belched loudly and grabbed a bottle of the water of life he had laid under the dashboard of the ship. Unscrewing the bottle, he guzzed down about half of what was in it. Yeah, I'll just stop there. That's page 1. Yeah, page 1. A couple of paragraphs with some dialogue, a little exposition, the world building. Good stuff, man. I wrote that just this evening. Yeah, that's how I celebrate my birthday. Write a little fucking genre fiction. Yeah, good fun. It's going to be fun, though. I have started a writer's circle with another guy at work. And we're having good fun. He had already written something, a bit of a short story. And he sent it to me. And he said that he'd been approaching people all throughout like different walks of life for like the last couple of years, and nobody had read it. Nobody had read his short story, and he said, "You're the first person that put enough fucking time and effort and energy into actually reading the story and giving me feedback." And he was just he was smitten with the idea that someone actually read his fucking prose, and it delighted me. It was actually good. It It's kind of high school level writing, but it was good enough that it inspired me to write again. And since COVID, like I really haven't written. Like COVID fucking took the lead out of my pencil. It really took the fucking jelly out of my donut. I mean, everybody knows. Everybody knows what went down. It was absolute horseshit. And they locked us all down, you know, like in a little prison cell for 10 years. And it was terrible. And so I kind of stopped like all social interaction and all social activity and just focused on, like, you know, doing the absolute maximum minimum of anything. And you got to ask yourself, is that what they sought to do, right? Were they trying to shut us all down and make us just fucking clam up and go back into our turtle shells and hide out? All right, let me check the chat, guys, and see if I can try to catch up with what's going on out here. We got Root Girl and Married at Sea Level in the chat. Good to see. Free gift from God, you disappeared, man. Where the fuck are you? He's a hard-working young man. Free gift from God. He's in his early to mid-20s. He's a chaos magician. He's a mover and a shaker. Good-looking guy. He's a wow. You be careful there. He's a good, big. Yeah, I'm paying attention. He's a good-looking heavy dude. You know, coming in at 6 foot, 200 pounds, swinging fists. Got to watch out for him. He's got my back. He's an abbot of the esoteric order of Dagon. Mary at Sea Level. She knows free gift from God. Okay, good magic going on. Good stuff. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. So, and I believe Mary, we have birthdays right around the same time. So happy birthday to you. I don't know if I've ever sang my birthday song for you, but here we go. Right, it's your birthday, baby. Yes, it's true. Birthday, baby. Don't be blue. Laugh and sing and play all day. You can't even be downright gay on your birthday, baby. You. Birthday, baby, I love you. Act like a monkey and show your ass. Let them know you ain't got no class on your birthday, baby. You do. Birthday, baby. Yes, it's true. There you go. Birthday, baby. That's the birthday baby song. I think I missed a couple of verses. Yeah, fuck. 2 sheets to the wind, as it were. Not the same day, but the same sun and moon signs, different year. Yeah, that's right. I know your year too. I do not forget things I learned over time. Very good. Yeah, there's good fun there. Good stuff happening out in a happy land. Oh, good, sexy people. Okay, so where do we leave off? We were talking about magic, and we're talking about manifestation of the magic. The magical intent, the wizard's will. There are three basic steps, and they are highlighted here, right? They start with the 3 Dantian. So you've got the 3 basic Dantian in the body. You've got the lower Dantian. This is what I call the infernal Dantian. It's where the little devil lives, right? The little devil. And you've got the center Dantian. This is the Christ Dantian, where it's the terrestrial Dantian, and where you seat your Christ consciousness, your emotion, your love for your fellow man, your love. And then you have the upper Dantian. This is the celestial Dantian. It's where the mind connects with the starry realm, the cosmos above. So the cosmic particle comes in, the divine spark, and it erupts in the chest center. It brings about that love for humanity. And then it continues down into that lower gut, right? That gut center where that little devil lives. What's the point of this? Oh, yeah. These produce the three treasures. The Jing. The Jing is the Kundalini, the sexual energy. It's aroused by interaction with man and woman, and it's aroused in all things. Like trees reach up to the sky, right? They want to interact with the celestial force. Their roots sink deep into the earth, and all things adore the heavenly way. The natural law is apparent in all things, and so next is the qi. Qi means breath. Essentially, in Chinese, the qi just means breath energy. So it's the pounding down of celestial force. You breathe in the oxygen, the breath. You're breathing in empty energy, right? Heavenly energy into the material kingdom, into the prime material kingdom. And these two, as they interact, as the qi and qi interact, they produce something extra, which comes up the back of the spine. Spirit. They produce shin, right? Enliven the third level. And so the difference, I think, between the Chinese esoteric system and the Indian system is the Indian, they have lots of waypoints, whereas the Chinese is much more simplified. You just have three energy centers. They're called circles. Yeah, so you have the lower energy center, which is the psychosexual center of right inside. It's basically what empowers us all. This is where the Big Bang occurs, right? How did you come into the world? Your pops let off a Big Bang, right? How did this world come into existence? Our pops, the grandfather, the grand architect, he let off a Big Bang, right? But how could that be completed without the feminine principle? It can't. And so in the Abrahamic religions, they have made it devoid of this feminine principle, what we can now call the Holy Spirit, right? They don't even identify it as the divine feminine. And so this is where they miss the mark entirely, because it is a divine, encompassing feminine principle that brings about the realization of the original intent. And it's the original intent that I mean, it's a very simple thing, right? I knew this before you were. I remember a Marine Corps guy saying this to me, a Space Marine, because many of you know that my father was a seaman, right? My father was a seaman. What an interesting thing to say. Look at the innuendo in that. My father was a seaman. And he really was. He was a sailor in the U.S. Navy. But there was a Marine Corps guy that said, I knew your dad before. What did he say? He said, I knew this before you were a twinkle in your father's eye. Right? That gets you all the way back to the beginning, the origin. Because that's where all of us started. We were a twinkle in our father's eye. We were space dust. We were this twinkling energy. But here's, if you go too far, right? If you don't stay in the grind, here's where we would, as Taoists, we would differ from the Buddhists. And as magicians, we would differ from the agnostics. As hermetic science, we want to stay in it. We want to stay in the grind, in the push and pull of the prime material plane. We're in it to win it. We're not trying to escape. So many people, they think they come here, life is suffering, life is torment, it's turmoil, and they're trying to get the fuck out, right? Our friend, the greatest drag queen you've ever met, Queen Stephanie, leader of Team Evil, the insanity machine, right? He's telling all of his followers that it's a hell realm filled with shit, and he's the only one that can help you escape. Well, fuck, there you go. Get out. Go get Why the fuck are you even still here, right? If that's your ultimate mission, then just jump. That we've got buildings over here that are 100 stories tall. You could take an elevator straight to the top and just jump out the fucking window. Nobody cares. You disrobe, get fucking naked and jump. That's not the point, man. We're not trying to escape. We're trying to cultivate. So we're here to cultivate, and the subtle origin is here with us, and we're here to experience. And I mean, I've been going all the way through the literary movements, as of course I always do every year. But there's so many things that are highlighted along all the great writers of each epoch, of classicism. And there was this great gap called the Dark Ages, where supposedly nothing was produced. It's like, what happened there? Why is there 1,000 years of missing information? Oh, because maybe there wasn't anything there to begin with, and so they added 700 to 1,000 years onto our timeline in order to account for all these beautiful structures that were created and erected. Yeah. So what's the point? Where am I going with this? Let me get back to this. The Jing Qi and Shen. In Chinese Tao, it's a very simple process. You breathe deep to the belly. Over and over again, relax. Let that power your chi, and then rise up into the brain to create additional spirit. What we're talking about here is the fecundity of the abundance of the cosmos, that not only are you producing additional mental energy, but you're literally giving birth to spirits, to servitors. And when you can focus them through the triangle of art, you can create what the Indians call tulpas. Is that correct? Is it a tulpa? Yeah. But in Chinese Tao, we acknowledge these as additional spirits, like moons floating around the individual. And there are a certain number of them that each individual can create. And I won't tell you that magic number, because you have to discover it through the work of your own. Right? And there are many things that have been revealed to me through the journals of Dreamland, stacks of journals that I could just easily throw out there, but they have to be kept as riddles. That's what the angels tell me. I'll tell you the basics of Dreamland. When you go into Dreamland, when you pass beyond the threshold, right? You go into sleep. Okay. There's a guardian at the gate. We identify him as Ronzal 333. It's the attentive critical factor that prevents your mind, your attentive mind, from going directly into Dreamland without forgetting. So there's the fog of forgetfulness. You lay down to sleep, everything goes black, and you wake up in the morning suddenly. Most people, right? And they don't have any experience of what goes on in the 8 to 10 hours that they're asleep. That's Karanzan. He's the stealer of intent, right? The stealer of attention. So when you can get beyond him, then you suddenly find yourself in the narrow house, or the channel of the cavern, the grave. You find yourself in death, right? And it's the clipples. It's the area below the tree of life, below the premature plane. So, and I shouldn't even be revealing all of this, but when I re-began my study of Tree of Life and Hermetic Sciences, I wanted to go up the Tree of Life from Malkuth into Assad. And I wanted to go straight up. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm ready. I got all my Qigong, 30 years of Chinese Kung Fu. I could go straight up the Tree of Life, right up the middle path, through Tefra, into the supernals, right? And that's not what happened at all. And I didn't know this, but the Master Magician will you've really done it now. Immediately, I was pulled into the realm of death, into the Klippo. And I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect that. I was going from Kuth to Yatsan. I'm like, I'm a fucking master of astral travel. I've done it all. I know exactly what I'm doing. And as soon as I began my initiation into the future hermetic sciences, that's not what happened. All the dark spirits came forth and pulled me back down into the Glyphoth, and I was in the realm of the dead and the shells. And it turns out that that's all laid out in the Torah. That's the way it's supposed to happen. And I didn't know any of that. Yeah, I didn't fucking know any of that. The ghosts are pulling at you, you know? They're ripping away at all the chi you've gathered, all the fucking accumulation of your energy, and they're siphoning it away from you. And I should probably stop here with the narrative, because I've said, like, the spirits are warning me right now. I can feel them touching my face and whispering in my ears, and they're like, you've already said more than you should have. So yeah, I'll just leave it there for now. But be warned, Wayfarer, seeking initiation into the mysteries is not something for the faint of heart. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? You know that it's fucking ain't easy, and you're gonna take some risks, and you're gonna face some nightmares, and you're gonna face all the shadows that you've accumulated. But what's gonna give birth to? Cultivation of the Lord unto you will give you the longevity of physical life here now that you need. You got to see it all the way through spring, summer to autumn into winter, and you're going to need longevity to do that. You don't want to die early. Don't check out early. Don't give up halfway. You know, you're here for 100 fucking years. Make sure you get it all right. The next thing is you cannot afford to be poor. I mean, that's an oxymoron, right? You cannot afford to be poor. You have to have the generosity of spirit that cultivates wealth. And that's what it is. If you're stingy, if you're a fucking cheapskate and you try to cheat other people, or you try to like not give back, then you'll never have prosperity. The only true wealth comes from being generous. I watched my father. My dad was a wonderful man. He was a godlike man on earth, and he was always generous. He always had a roll of bills. Anytime anybody needed a little something, somebody come by and be like, hey, you know, Mr. Monday, I need this, I need that. He'd just fucking roll out bills and throw them. He didn't care. He was always giving more than people ever asked for. He'd do more than people ever expected, and he'd always give more than someone asked for. Hey, can I get a tenner? You know, here's a 20. Make sure you do something with it. Don't fucking waste my time. He's a generous man. Generosity of spirit. Fertility is the last one. That's the realm of spirit, celestial Dantian. It's a kind of spiritual fecundity that you're giving to new ideas, inspiring words, right? Mottos and quotes and things that actually move people and re-inspire their life so that the entire cycle continues. Holy fuck, King of Hell is here. Guys, welcome to the stage, the one, the only, King of the Underworld. How the fuck are you, man? Are you there? Can you hear me? Your microphone is on mute, sir. But I do see. Oh, I see you with your demonic star. Devil.
Hold on. How are you? How's everyone? Hello to everyone.
And yeah, hello. Hello. Hello, how are you?
Good.
Isn't that what Queen Stephanie says? Hello.
Not sure.
What's going on, man? Thank you for the fucking happy birthday, man. I certainly appreciate that.
You're welcome. It was Mary who remembered, really.
Okay.
But I know you're March.
Yeah. Good looking out, motherfucker. I haven't talked to you in such a long time, man. It's been since like the winter solstice, probably before.
Yeah, yeah. I just
What has happened since then? Tell me. Give me the whole fucking
nothing
lowdown.
really. Nothing really.
Bullshit.
Just doing the same thing.
Are you? Yeah, don't fucking cheat me, man. I wanna know.
Yeah, nah, I'm doing the same thing. I was able to get to work a little early, so I'm here earlier. So I'm just sitting in the parking lot.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you got a jet pretty soon then, right? You got shit to do.
No, like 30 minutes I got.
Okay, good. Yeah, we got a couple of minutes to chat then. Yeah, do your thing, man. Don't fucking be late, man. Get in there and get it done.
Nah, I'm not gonna be late. Nothing is happening. I'm good.
Good
But
man.
yeah.
How are you? Your spirit sounds a bit deflated today, man. What's going on? Did somebody fucking take the jelly out of your donut?
Nah, I don't. Nah, I'm just. I don't know. I guess
You're
that's a good
good?
question.
Are you good? We're at the end of the lunar cycle right now. We're going into a dark moon, so that's part of it. That's part of it for everyone. Let me check the time. It's like you're pre-noon, right? You haven't even had fucking lunch yet, right?
Yeah, no, it's yeah, it's 11 o'clock. But
Yeah, you need to have some fucking lunch, man. Get yourself a burrito.
yeah, I probably won't eat for another 6 hours or 7. I haven't ate today yet. I don't really.
What are you doing? Some kind of diet horse shit, man? Fucking sink your fucking teeth into some flesh.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know. I'm definitely trying to lose some weight.
Yeah,
Uh,
what's been going on,
significantly.
man? I've been reading Dragonaut, that book you sent me a while back. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
how is
that.
that? I'm not sure if I
Yeah,
read that or not. I can't
no, I
remember.
like it. I got it on my desktop, man. I've been checking it out here and there. That guy's got some shit to say. Have you talked to Peter Carroll at all recently? Some
No,
little
I
email.
stopped bothering him. He's a good guy though. If anyone wants to reach out to him, you just look up his email. I would email him from my school email, so he would respect me as a student.
So yeah, here's what I have come to understand. When I withdraw from the world actually withdraws from reality. Is that a truth, man? Like, has nothing gone on since last time we talked? Because
Yeah,
I
nothing
don't
really
believe that.
changed. Like, I
I
don't
don't
really want
believe
to.
that, man. According to
Yeah,
all the according to all the naysayers, the universe just continues even while I'm not there. And I'm not that's not what I'm hearing from you, man.
yeah, I'm just still trying to. I don't know. I'm just still trying to accomplish the same things. Really, haven't really been successful. I don't really know what the problem is, but I'm
Right.
just gonna
Like
keep trying. I guess I don't know.
right, like I was just talking about a moment ago. Every time I fucking summon mushrooms, mushrooms appear, right? But none of them blue. I pick them up and I crack them open, and there's no bluing. I want to eat mushrooms that give me hallucinogenic, fucking psychedelic qualities, and all the mushrooms around me are just vegetables. They're not psychoactive mushrooms. Why is that? So something's blocking you, something's blocking me as well, man. Maybe when we make the breakthrough, then we'll get the fucking good, right?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, um,
Because this is a collaborative endeavor, man. You're not alone in this, man. I'm here with you always.
yeah, no, I just, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what to say.
Well, tell me what you know, man. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me,
Uh,
tell me. Let me fucking know,
just
man.
trying to accomplish some things.
Because I think you do know. I think you know the fucking secret. You're a young man. You figured it out. You fucking chose the
No,
right. Yeah, you
not at
chose the
all.
right
Not at all.
book.
Not at all.
No, you did, man. Don't fucking doubt yourself. See, that's where you got to have faith. Have you watched any of the Jack Talcott videos over the last couple of months?
Uh, yes, but I'm not really too familiar with what that stuff is.
Yeah,
But
what's
I
that
actually
motherfucker
have watched it.
talking about, right?
Say again?
You there? Yeah, he thinks he's the Messiah.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
Yeah,
But
no, he
he
thinks
like
he's
talks on the stream, right? And then there's like
right,
a
right, right,
panel.
right. Yeah, he thinks he's a Christ figure.
Okay, yeah,
And,
I
and
didn't know
here's
that, but
the
I have watched you on his show. You don't really talk
yeah.
much a lot.
No, I try.
Or like when you do,
Here's
I don't know.
go
It's
ahead.
yeah, that guy's a little. I don't know, man. Like,
He's a little kooky, right? He's a little kooky.
you're kind of
Here's
hard
the
to hear.
thing. Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? Hello, hello, hello.
It sounds like you're far away.
No, it's up to these earphones. Yeah.
But yeah, like, yeah, man. I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Are you there?
You have. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello.
No, I can't. I don't think anyone can.
Fuck. Hello, hello. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, yes,
Jesus
yes. We hear
Christ.
you, but it sounds like you're like 20 feet away,
Okay. No, yeah, I know what happened,
which is
man. I
fine.
know
You
what
can
happened.
be that far
No,
away.
no, I know what happened. I know what happened. Here we go. It says my fucking thing is set to inter.
What?
Oh, it should be fucking crystal clear.
All right, we're
How
good
about
now.
now? Yeah, are we good
But
now?
yeah, so um,
Let me turn off that fucking music. Good God, that's annoying. Okay.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I have some goals that I just haven't been able to accomplish, and then
Okay, we're gonna make
but
a
I don't know
breakthrough
why. I don't
tonight
know
then.
why. So that's where I'm
Let,
at.
let's do it. Me and you right now, Tony fucking Robbins style. We're gonna make a breakthrough. So give me your top goal, top number one goal. What's up? What's up with your
Easy.
top
My
goal?
top number one goal is to um get a job, start get a good job, I guess you could say.
Okay. Yeah. Let me reform that for you. You want to launch yourself into a profitable career that is going to bring about all of the things you need, right?
Yeah, man, and
Fuck a job, man. You don't need a fucking job. I got jobs. I've been having jobs my entire life. Fuck jobs.
you're right.
You're a
You're right, a career.
yeah,
That's exactly
you
what I mean.
yeah, you're a career man. You know what's up. And you've already got it. You've got everything you've ever needed since birth. And
Yeah,
so
I feel that way. I really do. And like I don't want to I don't know, like I don't want to do like a stupid job, you know? Like
no,
I don't want
you're
to
tired of that horse shit.
I don't want
You
to
don't need
be
no
a police officer, firefighter. I don't want to do anything. I
well,
don't
no,
want
no,
any
that's
job like that.
no, that's
But
where you're failing, man. Don't ever fucking cut off your options. You're a career-minded man, which means that you need to go ahead and just start doing the jobs that come to you. Whatever work comes to you, do it with the best of your ability and realize that each time you take the fucking jobs, man, they're a dime a dozen. Each time you take one of these fucking buses from point A to point B, you ride that motherfucking bus, baby, because it's going to take you a little bit closer to your destination, right? You're be a career-minded man. You free gift from God. You're a beautiful person. You've always been a great salesman, right? Um, I know you did sales. You've done a number of different fucking activities in sales. You've done front of the house. You've done back of the house. You've done fucking retail, customer service, all of these things already.
Yeah,
You,
yeah, you're right.
I think one of your main equations is that you need to drop this resume mindset. That's for fucking lesser secretarial type people. Get somebody on board, some little gal that when wants to choke herself on your dick or something, and have her set up your resume, and stop worrying about that. Stop worrying
Oh
about
well,
the
I have a
finances.
pretty. I mean, I have a resume. I'm always how do you say, like, revamping it or like
Okay,
re-strategizing,
yeah,
things like that.
you're more, yeah, you're more business minded than I am. Then you need to go with that chief flow though, with that internal energy of who you are as a person, that original impetus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and another thing is that, like, I don't know, man. Just like, and this sounds like a bit arrogant, but just like other people will have like good positions that are my age, or and I'm like, like,
Yeah.
I don't understand like how they got that position, or you know, I don't know. I just feel like when you talk to like when I talk to a lot of people, I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Like, you know what I mean? And
Right.
I don't mean to sound like arrogant, but
Well, that's funny, man. No, no, that's not arrogant at all. I've been in my business for 20 years, and I've only just recently met a couple of people that I thought weren't fucking complete fucking idiots. You know? I've been dealing with idiots for
yeah,
the last 30 years, man. And they're
it's
all in higher positions than me.
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much value I could add to wherever I go. It
No,
doesn't
yeah.
matter, you know, how hard
So
I work or how dedicated I
good,
am.
good, good. I'm glad that you've identified that. So then what does matter?
This fucking guy. I'm not sure. You just need to be connected. You got to know someone, and
Connected,
shit,
knowing
shit like
people.
that.
What else? What
I,
else? There's
I
more.
think
There's more. You know
maybe
it. You've
I'm too
seen it.
young. Maybe I'm just not ready
No,
for
no,
some of these things.
no.
No, I'll be honest. I'll be honest because and
No, you
you
can
know what's
rise above
funny?
young, man, because I rose above when I was young.
No, no, you
Go
of
ahead.
course no,
Go
no. But
ahead, though.
this is
Go
what I
ahead.
mean.
Go
This is
ahead.
what I mean. When I like my senior year in college, I did this thing where like you interview someone who is in your you interview someone who has a job in a field that you want to be in that
Okay.
pertains to my major, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
good stuff.
interviewed my friend who is in sales, and he would sell medical devices and surgical devices and things like this. Two things. He got the job because he knew someone or whatever. He had some connect. And the second
Right.
thing was he was really young, like for, the people he was dealing with. But he looks really, really old. Like he has like gray hair, but he's like 23. So he has like
Okay.
this weird dynamic going on. And I kind of touched on that during the interview, which, kind of shows like whatever. Um, but and he would even say like, yeah, like there is a dynamic between like me and my clients where it's like I'm obviously younger, and they're sort of maybe not disrespectful, but you get what I'm saying. And it's like I don't know. So that's why maybe part of it is my age, and also another part of my age being a factor of it, maybe, or maybe I'm just making excuses, but like the job market is like horrible, and you need like all these qualifications for entry level positions. Like someone my age wouldn't have them. You know what I mean? The scenario where
Right.
someone would take that job is someone who's overqualified and needs a job now, and you know they'll take that entry level position at 30 years old with 5 years experience, and what you get what I mean. So
Absolutely.
I don't really
Ma-
know, you
master's
know.
degrees working at McDonald's. And the mindset of a master's degree achiever working at McDonald's is always going to be that just thing, right? Here's where I think both of us need to break through, right? Like I need to grow the mushrooms that are hallucinogenic. And I've been growing mushrooms all over the fucking place entirely with my will, right? But there's some subtle element, that bluing effect, that's missing, right? And so here's the
Wait,
thing.
I'm
I
sorry. I'm not
figured,
laughing at you. I'm not. I'm
no,
sorry.
no,
This guy that's not supposed to be driving is driving the fucking car. Just go ahead.
let him drive, man. Just don't let him fucking crash you into a tree,
He
right?
has a suspended license, but he's driving. Just go ahead. He's retarded. He's retarded.
You know,
Let him do what he wants.
s- so my thing is this, like, number one, I would over analyze what you just said, right? I'm gonna analyze it. While you were asleep, I analyzed your dreams. And in that I saw the first thing is whoever you said you interviewed a friend during this process, right? Career minded in
It
my
was a. He's a good friend, so it was a good talk, and it
yeah,
was
it's
honest.
not though. You don't have any fucking friends, man. You've got
Oh, I like that.
family.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. That's the
You're right.
fucking harsh.
You're right.
It's
No, you're right. But
yes.
I've known him for a while, and
I don't
whatever.
give a fuck how long you've known him. You've got a harsh, sad reality. You've got individuals that maybe have aligned with you to up themselves. They're trying to up their game. You think I'm going to go out there and fucking hang out with you because you're my friend? No, I do it because you up my game. You make me
Right.
fucking think and give me
Right.
feedback that's important to me. If you approach me like a friend, I'm immediately wary of who the fuck you are, right? You're gonna
Right.
end your life. You're gonna end your life. You can count your true friends on one hand, my friend.
Facts.
And I do consider you a friend. You're the one motherfucker. You're the one internet tourist, free gift from God, that can wander in here. You, Mary at sea level, maybe a couple of others that aren't absolute trolls from the offset, right? From the jump. 99.9% of the people that wander in and out of here on the Frank Monday channel are absolute fucking trolls. And even if one of them gets close to me through this, that, or the know for a fact, the only thing they're doing is up in their game. And you got to realize that. Maybe this guy is a true friend, and that would be rare. And if it's genuine, then that energy will shine like a diamond, right?
Exactly. I
And
get
you'll
what
be,
you're saying. I
yeah,
also
yeah,
I
you'll,
believe, and I was thinking about like you and the channel, but like there, he's a good guy. The person I'm referring to, he's a good guy, and
yeah. If
yeah,
he's not going to help you,
he
you don't want
he
nothing to
gets
do with
he
him.
he, he gets
Stay the
this.
fuck,
Like
stay the fuck away from good guys, man. Find those evil motherfuckers with the triangle, the dark triangle that are rising up in the world, right? You think fucking Trump's hanging out with good guys? No. Who does Mr. T, Presidente number 47 take on board? He takes on the most evil motherfuckers out there. Elon Musk, 6 wives, 13 children.
dude, yeah, that
He's
was a
not
good
taking
one.
on good. He's not
Thank
taking
God
on
for
good
America,
guys.
man. I should have bet on that too.
He's taking on fucking evil, dirty
That was a good win.
motherfucking
But
snakes
and
in the
also
grass.
today is oh my God, the shit I see in this world. Like yeah, you meant like I'll just say this, like I just think like right now isn't my time. And
No,
honestly, like
no,
you've
no, no.
spoken to
Go
me,
ahead, go
other
ahead.
people are hearing me speak. I'm sure for
No,
23 years old, I'm communicating at a higher level than most children, what people my age are. It just is what it
absolutely,
is. It just is what it
absolutely.
is. And that's why, like, if I get an interview in person, I am my chances of getting the job are much higher because I'm manipulative. You know, I'm whatever the fuck I am. It is what it is. Like I'm not really too worried about it, but um, I don't know. I just think it's a timing thing, and
Yeah.
also I was thinking about the channel. There's like a certain energy that brings like-minded people together, whoever those people may be, or whatever those groups of people may be. Like there's an energy behind people coming together who who are like-minded, and it's powerful to, you know, connect with these people and collaborate. You know, like my friend, when he did the interview, he did me a favor, you know, and we were at the gym. Like I just seen him at the gym, and I'm like, yo, let me interview you for like an hour, fucking when you
Yeah.
work, while you work out. And it's just funny, and it's just like I just referenced that conversation because I thought it was so real and genuine, not because of what we were talking about, just because of the dynamics that me and my friend or my whatever share, similar to me and you. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm not too worried about anything, and just like I'm just trying
Well,
to like keep going.
here's what I'm gonna here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna post a video by Troy's team in the Discord that he recently dropped. It's like a 5-minute video, and I want you to look at it and think about the amount of it's an interview video, just
Yeah,
like you're
send it,
talking
send it.
about.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. And I want you to feel the type of uplifting energy that like you're gonna watch this video and you're gonna fucking get a hard on, man. You're gonna feel like, good God in heaven, this fucking guy
You know what?
knows it.
I want to
And
say this.
here's the thing. Wait, before you go anywhere. Here's the thing. It's not going to apply to any field that you're endeavoring to do, because it's about kung fu, right? Like, you remember I made the Frank Monday kung fu fucking thriller, right? Where
Of
I fight
course.
Troy. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So so I've been working with this guy for like over 10 years now, like close to 15 years or whatever. But that's when the whole thing started. There's a good percentage of the structure of this video, lighting, color correction, audio, a lot of different things, and like his canter and stuff that he learned from me. And he leveled up every time that motherfucker went out and fought somebody. We we did 12 videos in the whole Challenger series, and I was the fourth video. And that's when I jumped on the team. I followed the next 8 videos throughout and was production manager for them. But every time he fucking came against an obstacle, he leveled up. And that's what we need to do, man. Like me, just within
Mm.
the course of the things I've been doing, and what you're doing, and that's why I say you got to be career minded, because none of that fucking shit matters. It all falls to the wayside. What's going to ultimately matter are the hard lessons you've learned, your family, the family you fucking create, because your family that gave birth to you and brought you into this world, man, they're dying off, bro. You got to start creating your family, whether it be friends or people, or fucking knocking shit out and making things happen and creating things. Cars, you buy cars. That's all a part of your expression. You got to realize the abundance of this cosmos that you're constantly generating. The stars are constantly putting off. There's cows growing up, and you got to fucking eat steaks, baby. Otherwise, there's going to be just too many goddamn cows on this earth. Slaughter some cows, my brother. Get motivated. Eat some of that flesh and get involved, because yeah, you're the real deal, and I appreciate you. I do.
Oh, thank you, man. And I resonate with that message because, but you just like kind of connected more because my my second cousin, I seen him at the bar, and
Yeah.
he's younger. He's 21,
Okay.
and I haven't seen him in a long time, and it was good to see him. And we're
Nice.
talking, And my first cousin, who's also his second cousin, they're the same age. So, and they went to the same high school and middle school. So they're like friendly. They're friends, you know. They hang out. And he was my second cousin was telling me like, oh, our first cousin, he was like, he was like doing him wrong, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
He was like doing him wrongly. Like my second cousin would hit up my first cousin, text him, they would make plans, and he would just like abandon him, like ditch him, like not call, not text, not meet him up, like, or like one
Right.
time
Right.
he showed up to his house, he leaves him out there for an hour, never, like weird shit like that. And
Yeah.
I go, yo, dude, I go, because he has a sister with autism, he has an older brother, a younger sister with autism, and two great parents, man, great family. I go, yo, all you got to worry about is you, your family, fuck everything else. Just like you were saying. And I resonate with that. And then you were saying about leveling up and comparing it to kung fu. Like that's why I like comedy and Bill Hicks. Like because like it's transcend. Like anything can be served as a lesson. And that I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. It will never hurt you to pay it forward. So, like in a situation like that, like homie's doing this, he's struggling with that. You always got to put a little extra energy in there because you've stored up energy already, and you've already taken some hard knocks, and you're wily. You know you're scruffy. You know how to fucking dodge a punch, and you know how to throw a punch, right? So anytime anybody's in a situation like that, and you're like, motherfucker, I know what's going on. Don't listen to their horse shit, right? Don't take a bunch of shit, a bunch of negative shit on top of yourself that's going to drag you down because they might be trying to step off of you to level up, right? What you need to do is you need to bob and swirl. Like fucking Muhammad Ali said, you got to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. So what you do is you avoid that and you dodge out the way of it, and then you give a little impetus, a little fucking fire under the ass, a little strike up here in the gut, a little fucking smack across the face, and be like, motherfucker, wake up and get your shit done. You know what I'm saying? You got to get in there and get in it to win it, man. You got to fucking be the man. You got to be the man that steps up and lets them know what's up. Recently, I was in a situation where they had a big project at work, and they just came in they pulled us all into the conference room. They pulled us all in, and they're like, motherfucker, you got to do this, that, and the other thing. And I took that. I played my fucking part. I played the role. And then I went back and I contemplated it. And I was like, you motherfuckers are going to be making a ton of money off this. I already made you like $25 million last year. And then you're going to come at me with this new project. And I was feeling under stress, man. My health was suffering. And I'm like, you're all are pushing me down day after day trying to level up. And I said, I can't do it. So I skirted and I shifted and I came right back at him and I
Yo,
said, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
yo,
Motherfucker, what's up? So I told him no. I said, I can't do it. Ain't gonna fucking do it. Motherfucker ain't gonna do it. I ain't your nigga. Who was your nigga last year? Right? Nigga this, nigga that, nigga please. Who was your nigga last year? Ain't me. And I won't gonna let it happen. And I shifted and I dodged and everything turned fucking glorious. You know what I'm saying? I was alleviated of that pressure of that one simple task. And that's what you need to do sometimes. King of Hell, free gift from God, NBA, motherfucking coming at it, king of the NBA. Bob and weave, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That's what I'm saying. Be water, my friend. Be water. And you'll see when I die, I mean, I cut off out of nowhere. What the fuck, man? All right. Are we back? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Y'all good looking sexy people out in Happy Land. Hey, motherfucker. Y'all good looking sexy people. Are you out there in Happy Land? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear and see me? I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you can see me. I don't know what's up. Y'all good looking sexy people. All right, I'm dropping the link, guys. We're an hour and 30 minutes into it, man. It's big. It's way more than I wanted to commit to. I'm starting to tucker out, go long in the tooth. All that happy horse shit that makes fucking YouTube's algorithms. Grand Wizard of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, your friend and well wisher Frank Monday, coming at you on the 100-day challenge. Pathways of the Psionists. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Leave a comment on the video, man. People tune in, they don't hit the like button, they don't comment on the video. It's just fucking horseshit, man. You guys gotta check me out on buymeacoffee.com. Pull something in the tip jar. I would certainly appreciate that. And with no further ado, we do have a guest in the back rooms, right? Those liminal spaces that travel beyond the prime material plane into the realms of the astral. Zephyr Avil Axel. Yeah, I don't know how to say that name. You're gonna have to tell me how to pronounce that. Welcome to stage. How are you this evening?
Good. It's a voxel. You know what a voxel is? Like a
I have
pixel, but
no
a
idea.
video.
Tell me.
Yeah, a pixel is like it's like one unit of like the picture on your screen,
Is
and
that
a
right?
voxel is one unit of a video.
Okay.
So
Fantastic. So you said that you had found Jack.
yeah.
Where
He
did
was
he
over
go?
on NPC the games show. Um, have you seen? Do you know who that is? Because I can
I
like.
do not. Tell me. How can we
Yeah,
find him?
NPC the game is really easy to find. And it was yesterday's show. And he's at his sister's in Utah. And he showed his cat on camera. I didn't see it, I missed it, but everybody was saying that showed his cat. So, and I didn't go back to find
Okay.
it. But yeah, I was really surprised. And he's doing well. And I gave him a message from you. I said you should reach out to him. And
Okay, nice. Thank you.
yeah. And then I saw you were on, and I was like, "Yeah, I could go tell him."
Yeah, good stuff. I'm glad that he's surviving because
Yeah, his sister came
blasted.
and got him. I guess he called her,
Okay.
and yeah, I don't know
Yeah, the
how long it's
blasted
gonna.
tower had struck.
Yeah, totally. Well, sometimes it's not a tower. Sometimes it's a lighthouse. You know.
Yeah, he was cast down. Yeah.
Well, and I think it'll be something to get him unstuck. I think it'll be good for him. It seemed like he was in good spirits, and
Yeah, it's
yeah.
funny. Talk about that a little bit about getting stuck. Like, because motherfuckers get stuck sometimes. And what's up with that? You know?
Yeah, I think it's just like you get comfortable. I think comfort is the enemy ultimately. I mean, it's not that you don't deserve to be comfortable sometimes, and it's good for some people to get comfortable, but you can't be too comfortable because then you have no reason to do anything, you
So
know.
are you speculating that perhaps him being there, hanging out at that house rent free that he hadn't paid for, had got him too comfortable to some
Yeah,
extent?
I think the universe is whenever the universe does stuff like pushes you out in the world like unceremoniously, like I think those have been the times in my life where the most changes happened and it might have not happened if that hadn't happened. So I think, but what I found since is that if you get a little ahead of it and you take some action before the shit comes down, then you have a lot more mobility of where you're going to go and what you're going
Okay,
to do.
yeah, sure. And we could bring that full circle back around to free gift from God. He was just in here. I don't know if you kept up with the conversation or not, but he's a young man, 23 years old, and he's trying to find his way in the world, forging
I got
out
the
a
tail end of it.
career. Yeah. So what might you say to a man that early in life and struggling with the current economic situation in the US? Because you're back in the US, right?
Yes,
You're
I
somewhere
am.
there in
I'm
the
in
States.
Albuquerque, and it's rough. I would say you should always take quality over quantity. Don't go for the job that you hate, that you're working like 40 hours a week or more, and you're just like basically working, sleeping, working, sleeping. Find something that you enjoy doing, and at least you'll not like hate your job. If you
Okay,
can
good,
possibly
good, good.
just if you could just if you know something that you like to do and you can get by with less money, just friggin' try going all in with that, just like, and you might have to plan a little bit ahead, or maybe you could work the job you hate for a while, but like save up some money and then like take that move to try the thing that you really are passionate about and give yourself a little cushion, because there's going to be times where that thing you might have to be really persistent, and you might have to push through a few things, really tight times. I mean, it's like with me tarot reading. Um, I at the first year that I did it, I didn't save any money, and then in the winter, I was, like, really having a hard time, but, I managed to make it through, and on the other side of it, then I could, like, save some money over the course of the spring, summer, and fall, and make it through the winter more comfortably.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective, and I certainly appreciate that. Um, and maybe that has something to do with the feminine perspective. Women have to be absolutely more selective than men. For me, as a middle-aged dude, I would say the exact opposite of what you just said, which is not wrong either. But
Yeah, probably
I, w-
just as good of
I,
advice, honestly.
I would say ghost and grind and for free gift from God, I would say just fucking take the jobs that are apparent immediately, whether it be a 60, 70 hour week job that you absolutely fucking hate, but you should take those jobs that provide the resistance for you to build your muscles that make you a generator of energy. And you did touch on it a little bit, and I think that the main point here is that what's more important than any given job is the work ethic that you're developing. And so, as a man who was raised by a man who always had a really solid work ethic. It's about getting up every day and participating in the world and the cosmos and not backing away from it. Like for gals, absolutely, you have to wait for the best
Yeah.
suitor. And so a woman's position is far different from a man's. And I find that there are only, like me and you right now, we have a woman on board and a man on board. And from the cosmos that I've been presented, there are only two genders. There's only man and woman. And there's a woman's perspective, a feminine perspective, the divine feminine, we call her in Tao. And then there's the masculine, fiery energy that brings forth the venom and the vigor and and it's not a long reaching thing. I think that your plan, in fact, is actually more far seeing, and it's more prescient in some examples, because you're looking for those things which can be sustained over a greater period of time and derive more benefit. Whereas men, there are so many of us, in fact 300 million vying in a single discharge. There are
Yeah,
300 million of us
yeah, you're just
vying
like
for that
looking for
single
the
position. And
quantity.
yeah, we don't have the virtue of waiting by for that best suitor to arrive. So you can see in the cosmic structure of the heavenly way, there is a heavenly law that dictates there is a division between us and those things. And that's why I think it's so exciting that we can have both perspectives here on the
That's
show,
cool. Yeah.
and yeah, and discuss it.
Very cool. And one other thing with the whole like choosing something that you're passionate about is that whenever you get through those short times, the passion will sustain you through the hard time. Because and once you get invested in something and you really see you love your job like so much, sometimes you would do it for free. It's like,
And you
and
do, right? You gestate it not 9 months for free, and then bring
yeah,
it into the
well, and
world
I take
on
that
a
life
birth.
is
Where
sexually
whereas
transmitted disease.
we
You
don't
know,
do that. We gotta hit pay dirt immediately, or we're exhausted and
yeah, guys
disappear,
are a little
right?
more instant gratification, true, and we
Well,
are
yeah, like I said, we got to hit pay dirt. And so with us, like it's the friction, it's the grind of those things that you're putting out, that we're resistant to, and that develop us and drive us forward to hone in, to dial in, to triangulate and hit
I like
center.
a challenge too. I really do. And I think that's something that I think not a lot of people really get the scope of, or the importance of, that they have. Like me as a woman, I have a masculine part of me that
Yeah,
is very,
sure. You got a little boy living
and I've
inside
got
you.
also my inner child, which is a little girl. Well, mine is actually like in her 20s now. I actually met the embodiment of my inner child, and I was like, wow, this chick is just like my inner child, but she's like 21.
Yeah, yeah. So you've progressed enough along the spiritual path that you start to see the reflection of both your former self and your future self appearing in the world. That's good stuff. That's
Yeah,
time
it,
travel. That's what
it's
we call
crazy.
within the Hermetic sciences, we call that apotheum, where time dilates and you actually see you meet in real life those persons who represent you as your future self and the options of those things. It's
Yeah, and I
quite a
think
thing.
I was predisposed to that because I really resonated with like the Mayan. They say in la quech, which is like, it means I am another you, and so I kind of like,
Okay.
whenever I discovered that, I was like, yeah, everyone is another me. And so I try and like also take that perspective when meeting people,
Well,
that,
yeah, don't go too far. It's not everyone. There's a fucking lot of NPCs and cows mooing in the field
well, those
that
are,
have nothing
yeah,
to do with you. But yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I still treat them the same way. And what's really weird is the NPCs I've noticed, you can push them. And I think that's what the elite people, I think that their work, they do that consciously. I think we do it unconsciously too. But if we could do it like more consciously, but they are human. They're uninhabited most of the time, I think.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
that's quite a spiritual stance that I wouldn't necessarily be willing to take. Even with my years of cultivation, I don't know if all of them are human or not. I think that's why if we reach back into ancient times, we have these terms like the goyim and the golem and the NPC. It's been brought forward because this is from our collective consciousness, our the super consciousness, that somehow these things are apparent, that they're not that. Like many people, and I see all kinds of fucking internet gurus going out there and describing the certain things that uh wait a minute, what the fuck? Okay, hold on a second, sorry. um what this is or that is, but the the primary limitation that we experience in this plane is that we can only describe what God source is not. We cannot direct towards what it is. Only in silence and only in the
huh,
absolute renunciation of the meditative state can we see what it is. It's essentially been described by the Taoists as the mystic moment. And anytime we try to direct towards someone, towards what it is, all we're pointing out is what it is not. And
yeah,
that's the greatest challenge that I've had with many of these, Jack, Flow State, whatever, all these internet gurus, is that they're missing the mark always, every time. And so am I, because hopefully I am like Socrates and I'm only trying to tell you that I do not know. But
Yeah.
to
Well,
to
for
presume
everything
upon
you do know, you come
give
up.
me 1 second, 1 second, let me finish.
Yeah, yeah.
To presume upon intellectual brilliance and for you to tell me that you know what it is, then good God, I'm scared. I'm scared that you're here to deceive me.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. And for everything that you do know, like, and in some modicum, there's so much more about it that you don't know, that you realize that you don't know whenever you figure something out.
Yeah, it's frightening. It's frightening
It is.
because you never know why. Like a moment ago, I was talking to Free Gift from God, and it's like everyone needs to level up at some point, right? And you can't if you're leveling up by pushing others down, then I think
That's
personally
not
that
leveling
you're
up.
yeah that you're going about it in the wrong way. But if
Well,
you're
I figured out
leveling
how to
up by
identify how to
uh,
level up. The next lesson, almost always consistently, I found that this works pretty well with most people. Um, is whenever you get mad at something or you're really frustrated, you reflect on yourself and what in you is making it like that. And
I
then
sure
you
it's
work on that
every time, really.
almost every time. I
Oh,
mean,
there
that's why I
aren't
say,
certain times where you need to rip the fucking head off it and stomp them
well, yeah,
into it
sometimes I'm the
non-existence.
harbinger of other people's bad karma. I'm very fucking careful.
Sometimes death besuits you, right?
Yes,
I mean,
exactly. The
there are
darkness,
moments when we need to kill. Yeah, so don't
but
talk in
you have to be
absolutes.
very
I think it's the
careful
first.
because
Well, the first principle is you need not speak in absolutes. Not here, right?
no,
Maybe
none,
other places, but
no
yeah,
absolutes. I agree.
keep your up.
Nothing is absolute, but nothing is impossible.
So there are times, right? There are times.
Yeah, but that's
But
why I
then
said
there are
almost.
other times.
Yeah, I said that's
Oh,
why it said it mostly works most of the
that's why,
time.
yeah, that's why I'm also no, yeah, that's why I'm oscillating, right? Every time you get angry. No, there are certain times when you get angry, when it is righteous fury, and you must
Yes,
stomp the fucking devil in his
but you best
place
be
and be
careful
done
whenever
with
it
him.
comes to that, because if you're
Yeah.
wrong, it comes back on you
No, you're never
hard.
wrong. You're never wrong in your intrinsic nature.
Well, you're
You
learning
will
a lesson,
do
of course,
you
but
you
you
will
better
do
learn.
what you are meant to do. Your intrinsic virtue is that you're expressing the God force. The
Yeah,
God
that can go
particle is
badly too, though.
manifesting through you.
Sometimes
And
is all I'm saying.
therefore
I've made mistakes.
your sudden oscillation within 30 seconds sums up what's going on. And you need
Yeah,
not doubt that. That's where faith comes in, right?
exactly.
That's why we've survived as long as we have. And again, this just shows the feminine ideal. And you don't have to agree with me. In fact, I
No,
encourage you to
I know
disagree
that.
because the feminine ideal is very different from the masculine ideal.
It is. But I understand it. I think I get you. Like, I agree with you most of the time. So far, everything you've said today, I
Yeah,
think
very
that
cool. Because
it's
it took me
simultaneous.
it took me 20 plus years to learn a single female, so I can't even postulate that I understand women at all. I've been
We're pretty
gently,
complex.
yeah, gradually trying to learn a single female over close to 30 years now, and I still don't fucking have it figured out. So,
Well, and I don't think that women have men figured out. It's just that on certain levels, guys are easier. Like, they're less complicated.
yeah, we're pretty direct and
Yeah,
forthright,
well, and I think that women ought to be maybe more direct too. It's just
frank, as it were.
it's hard in the environment that we are currently in sometimes. I think it's getting easier though, but I was gonna I heard something yesterday and I was gonna see if I could bounce it off you and see what you think.
Yeah, go
Somebody
ahead.
said that there's nobody that was congenitally blind at birth that has ever been diagnosed as schizophrenic.
Yeah, that I'm not a doctor. I have no fucking
I
idea
know,
what
but
any
it's
kind of
like,
medical information means.
isn't that
But
intriguing? Because it kind of sort of implies that our vision,
I,
the way that we
I'll
see
say
the
you,
world.
you asked me a bit of a rhetorical question, but I'll go ahead and answer it. So, no, it's not intriguing to me at all, but go ahead and tell me why you think it is.
Oh, I just thought it was intriguing because it sort of implies that, like, the way that we see the world and the fact that our brain sort of fills in a lot of the details of vision, and our vision is so important to our worldview, you know, that that it being blind, and myself as someone who is pretty blind. I mean, like, I'm very nearsighted. It's corrected with glasses, but I also like walk around with dirty glasses a lot, and it's like it's funny as an artist to not really rely so much on that circuit of my vision. I think I actually was driving with glasses that were so out of focus, and I don't know, after getting my glasses, how I was driving, and I kind of been thinking about it, and I think that I was using the other circuit of my vision, the periphery one that motion senses, um, more than most people would be capable of in order to be able to drive. I mean, I wasn't dangerous or anything. I was just like, I definitely was not able to see very well.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. I've never even thought about it. According to the algorithms, the Google AI, out of nearly 8 billion people, something like 0.62% are born blind. So, it seems like such a niche consideration. And I've seen in my life, I've seen my daughter is in fact very near legally blind, but other than that, I think one other person, maybe two, in 54 years of life. So yeah, it's just not something I've ever considered. So in order to address this in a balanced way, I would say number one, according to neuroscience, we use about 75% of our brain for processing visual imagery. So we are visual creatures first and foremost.
Yeah.
um if you took that away, then the other 20%, and then about 5% is for everything else, but about 20% shifts to auditory. So
Yeah,
we're
I can
seeing
hear
and
way
hear,
better. So that is definitely something that
yeah,
I
we're
can say.
seeing and hearing creatures. So yeah, as your vision decreases, your auditory, like a bat, increases.
It does.
But the ultimate upshot of this is, and the claim is that our brain is reinterpreting the things we see in a manner in which is suitable for our survival, right? So that's the basic equation. However, I would also indicate that vision and visual data is beyond just the sensory apparatus of the eyes. In fact, if you've done any astral travel or any type of
Yeah.
remote viewing, you know that you can rip the eyes out as was it Oedipus or someone else? I can't remember exactly right now, but you could rip them out and you can still see with your eyes closed, but you
Yeah.
have to be able to generate that telekinetic perception. So there's something about our prime material plane that is extremely visual. Even if blind, you can still see. Now,
Yeah,
um,
I actually did a lot of very dark room open eye meditation. Um so with your eyes open in a totally dark room, like, and you start seeing things.
yeah, yeah.
And
And here's the
you
other thing. Here's the other thing. Like we think of Stevie Wonder, right? And he did wonderful on the piano, even though he was blind. And our our entire interaction, other than this little icon of you in your negligee reclining on a bed, our entire interactions have all been auditory. So
yes.
the only way we're in communication with each other has been via our auditory perception.
Yeah, other than a little astral investigation, maybe.
Yeah, it's possible.
Well, and I actually, that's what I was saying the other day, is my tulpa is very sensory remote, like, and it helps to interact with people through this medium of electronic
Sure, sure, sure.
communication.
Yeah, you'd
That's
have to be extremely powerful in order to penetrate through the words
well,
that I've
I
already
would
been
not.
setting up for years. So yeah, nothing really gets to me. Like after I spoke to you, I laid down and I slept for 10 hours, and I did a lot of work in Dreamland, and yeah,
You
very
didn't see
very
any naked
little.
redheads?
Yeah, no, not at all, not
No,
at all.
I didn't
I
really
got shit
either.
going on. I got a ton of shit going on that's, career
Yeah.
centered and life centered, and but yeah, like are you into hermetic sciences at all? Have you done any type of magic or no?
Yes, I would say I'm a chaos magician, but I do mostly light body magic and
Okay,
divination. I'm a tarot reader, of course,
right.
but I do other
Have you
magic
built an
sigils.
astral temple?
Oh yeah, it was actually already established by the time I was a teenager. Like, it's really cool. It's like this big tower that in the middle of this like desert of sand. It's like an ocean of sand. It's very cool.
Nice. Yeah, tell me a little about it. Like what's going
It's
on with that?
well, it's definitely it looks smaller from the outside than it is on the inside. And there was a lot of doors I couldn't get into at first. A little disorganized whenever I moved in, I guess. It was like a bunches of boxes and piles of papers and stuff, and now much more organized because my file guy has done that. It's one of my compartmentalizations of my persona, I guess.
Okay.
So I
And
have a few of those.
let's say in wandering through there, like what have been some of the more revelatory or epiphany type experiences or rooms maybe that you've discovered, chambers,
Yeah.
doorways, thresholds?
Well, that's where my dot door is, my dot door. It's the indoor that goes out into the world, so I can, like, go into that house and then go anywhere, basically, into the through the higher realms. It's like a shortcut, like a wormhole.
Sure.
Um, and that one was kind of I had to understand the tree of life and go into all of the Sephiroth before I was able to, like, even know that that was there. But there was always light shining out from the bottom of it, so it kept, coming up, coming up, coming up, and it's really interesting because the main room is just like the entire tower, but there's light switches that move around. So
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
I just do that to fuck with myself. So I go to this place to turn the light switch on, and it's not there, and I have to feel around for it. And it's got like a big chalkboard, like someone would write equations on, and I leave myself notes from when Dreamland when because I do a lot of astral work, but I'm not really conscious of a lot of it, and I don't know exactly why, but it feels like that is the way it is for a reason, and I'm not fucking with it. Um, so I guess maybe it's plausible deniability. I don't know.
No, no, no. There are certain prohibitions or well, the guardian, of course, will prevent you from bringing a lot back, and there's a very good reason because the etheric dredges that you bring back from revealing too much information from Dreamland, like there's a certain amount of spiritual information that can be revealed to the world within certain cycles, and so if you overtly try to go too far and bring back certain secrets like I do occasionally here
Yeah.
on the Frank Monday channel. I reveal things that are not supposed to be revealed, and I can feel a little bit of a touch or a slap across the face from the spirit realm.
Well, you
And
know that there's a governor on it. I mean, I've tried to tell people, like, whenever I had my epiphany, my ex, like, I was trying to explain some things to him, and he was just not getting it. And I was like, at a certain point, I was like, okay, I want you to just repeat the sentence that I'm saying, back to me word for word, one sentence. And I said this sentence and he said back something totally different. And I just like, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Literally, I was like, okay, so this is not something that I can share.
Right, right. So you have to internalize those. And then the best way, of course, is scripting it in your dream journal and then reflecting on it and maybe making some art based on that or something of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
nature.
really encoding
That
it.
way it's yeah, it's more further revealed within your own nature because number one, nobody wants to fucking hear it, right? Like you can see that
Yeah, no.
any type of highly spiritual channel that's actually doing progressive work within the paranormal and the occult has a very, very low sub count. And it's just not a mainstream message that anyone's interested in, really. Like they talk about it and they think about it and they pontificate on it quite a bit. Like, is there an afterlife? What's happening in the spirit realm? The dead are among us, this kind of thing. But in all actuality, they're not interested in any way without, tangible visual evidence and knocking on the table and apportation. Without these things, there's no direct way which they can connect with it on the mundane level. And here's the other thing, and I wanted to bring this forward to you really, is that it's extremely dangerous. And so it actually takes much of your life force away from you because you're getting closer and closer to things beyond the veil, which brings you closer and closer beyond the veil. And so the physical life force, even for a healthy individual, cannot survive on bringing forth too much high level information into this realm. So we see most of the great prophets are dead at 40. JFK, Edgar Allan Poe, H.P. Lovecraft, uh, all of these on and on and again. Like you could just do a basic search of how many great laureates or writers or famous people were dead in their 40s. And there are hundreds and hundreds of some of the most powerful people in our realm that got struck down in their 40s. 46 is a very key year, 47, 48, but around this range of 40, 46, 47, 48, all of the greats dead because they
Well, I'm
revealed too much.
47. It's still going strong. So, yeah.
There you go, the dark night of the soul. 47 is in fact
My Jupiter return.
yeah, it's the time when you can be struck down in the middle of life, and so you have to be careful. Like
Yeah.
maybe
And
these
I
things are
am
really
careful.
exciting, and like you've discovered them, and yeah, the most important thing is just to internalize those lessons. And here's the next thing: you can pass them on to the younger generation because it can be taught in the form of allegory and anecdote and stuff like
And
that, and you can
arts.
do it in
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, exactly, and in arts, and you can do it in a subtle way where
Yeah.
it's not
Always subtle. I've
intrusive
always found
into
that
their development.
subtle works so much better, and especially if you're like a humble person, like, and you don't need credit for like enlightening other people. Like, I think it's much easier to actually, plant a seed, and if it's fertile and you're not attached to that, you just know that it's going to grow, and if it does,
Yeah, and
it's good.
that's the key too. Like a moment ago when you told me the story about the person you were communicating with, and you wanted them to reiterate the exact idea that you had told them. Is this planting a seed or is this pulling at the tree of life? There's a huge difference between when we sow seeds. And there's an idiom in Chinese where there was a young boy and he followed his father out into the field, and his father had planted a bunch of seeds and they were starting to grow up and they were little sprouts. I don't know if you know this story or not, but the young boy, he went out there and he worked hard all day long, giving a little tug to each sprout. And he tugged and he tugged and he tugged and he went through the entire field and he tugged all the sprouts to make them grow a little, right? And then he went back in and he sweaty, and a hard work day. And he told his father what he had done. And he said, Dad, I went out there, and I helped every single plant grow. And he said, how did you do that, son? He said, I gave him a little tug, each one, I gave it a little tug. And when they went out the next day, everything was dead, right? Because he had tugged their roots out. So we call this in Chinese, we say ba miao zhu zhang, or to pull on the corn sprout, ba miao miao. Miao is like sprout, zhu zhang, to help it grow. And it never works. It just, you end up killing everything, right? So
Yeah,
it's important.
that reminded me of a koan, like the one of the broken water vessel, like, or the cracked vessel, where there was two vessels. One was not cracked and one was cracked, and they would go down. The person would take the water down every day to go fill the water vessels, and on the way back the cracked vessel would leak out a lot, and it was kind of told from the perspective of the cracked vessel, and how it started to feel like it was in, it wasn't doing the best job that it could do, but and like, so somehow, I don't know how, but the person was talking to the vessel, and the vessel said this, like, I feel like I'm, like, not good enough because I don't bring as much water as the other vessel that isn't cracked. And the next day when they were going down, the person told the vessel, like, look, all these flowers along the path, that's because of you.
Okay, yeah. Again, a feminine principle to a masculine principle. Yeah, it mirrors in some way, and it brings to mind another aspect of the Chinese Tao. Again, I'm not conversant in all of the Indian and Mayan and other types of systems. I've spent the last 30 years of my life just studying Tao. So the idea is that whenever the yin and yang forces, the sun and the moon, the Solomon, right, the king of the temple, arrives, then there's a reflection. It's like two mirrors facing each other, and it creates this oscillating reflection of uh, your your fable coincides with mine, but in an exactly opposite direction,
Yeah,
right? And then,
exactly. But they're both
yeah,
valid. It's crazy, right?
right, yeah, and they mirror each
Cool.
other to some extent. It's a lot of fun. So good magic there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and water the flowers by all means. Fuck, get it done. Grow a garden. I had posed the question to a group of juniors today, which I don't usually teach juniors. I teach seniors, but I had a class of seniors, and there was an article I read for them. I was subbing a class, and the idea was this vegetable-based meat alternatives, and there were no citations in the articles, because so at the senior level everything has to have citations and footnotes, right? But
Yeah.
this text that they had, it was just an article written basically like an op-ed. It was an opinion piece, and it was based on a story of a Indian gal who had started a synthetic shrimp farm where they were growing shrimps inside of a laboratory. And the one thing that struck me the most was, I asked them, I said, if these shrimps are being grown this way, I said, do they have the Tao? And only a group of Chinese students would get it. Like American students obviously don't know what the Tao is, but the Tao is the way, right? Like things
Yeah,
grow
and it's unnameable.
naturally in the way, yeah. And you can't raise Taoist shrimp in a laboratory. That's not the way. That's not how shrimp
Yeah.
came about. That's not the natural process. So when you remove natural law from anything, you create an NPC. So sure, you could eat it, and the scientists had done research, and they figured out that it wasn't as nutritious. It didn't have the same texture or quality or taste, but they're doing it nonetheless, right? There's
Yeah,
Beyond
unfortunately.
Burger
And it's
and
kind of like a
every
fast food restaurant, it's different than your mom's home cooked meal, even if you have the same ingredients,
right, right.
because
Yeah,
it's still
you
that love is put into it, really.
Yeah, yeah. Your
And
mom
you can
has the
get that
Tao.
at restaurants, just not fast
The
food.
fast food restaurant doesn't. Yeah, that's right. That's a fact. And that's a direct exposure of this anti-human agenda. One of the students actually told me, I posed a very general question and I said, what could you do to make the world a better place? And one of the students raised his hand and shouted up, he said, I could kill myself. And I
What?
nearly jumped out
Mm.
yeah, that's what he said. And I thought, oh my fucking God, what has the modern mainstream media done to you, my boy? He thought that the world would be a better place by eliminating himself from it. Yeah, I'm using too much resources, my footprint, my greenhouse gases. And I thought, fuck, George Soros is winning, isn't he? Right? The World Economic Forum and the World Bank. They've convinced this whole generation
They
that
think they're winning.
not only are they irrelevant, that they're a burden. And this seems to be a general trend that humanity is a pestilence upon the planet. And it starts from a foundation that they even know what a fucking planet is. That this prime
Yeah,
material plane, expansive in all directions, cannot be measured, no noticeable curvature, is something spinning through space, this fantasy, this sci-fi fantasy that they've droned into the kids with Freemasonic Disneyland, Star Wars horseshit that's totally unfucking provable. You go out there and you show me any of these representations with which they present this material plane to the young people, and it's just unbelievable. It's such a fantasy. Yeah, so I told the guy, I said, absolutely not. You're the whole fucking reason all of this is here. The entire cosmos is generating you. You're the cusp of everything. Without
yeah,
you there are no animals. Without you there is no earth. Without you there is nothing worth having. And yeah, I tried to let him know that he's the reason it's fucking happening, right? You're the reason we're all here. You showed
yeah,
up, and the reason all of these people are showing up is to listen to you talk. No other fucking reason. We die, the world dies. Period.
yeah. Well, consciousness is what creates the universe, and the universe creates consciousness. It
Yeah,
it's
we
like a
we start with the Big Bang and we end with the Great Collapse. And the
well, the
dinosaurs rise up from your fucking groin, and the entire transition takes place in a single lifetime. Not only does it take place in a single lifetime, it takes place in a single breath. From
yeah, all
inception,
all
the
happened.
spring of being, to the summer of holding, the exhalation of autumn to the winter of holding, the entire concourse
Yeah,
in a single breath.
I'm a very time. I have a weird time. I've always had like a different awareness of time, and like I understand like
So you've known that
Mandela.
it's always present. We don't leave the present. There is
Yeah,
there is none of this other horse shit.
but the
To to,
rest of
to
it
hear
does exist. It is all happen though. We
yeah, it's all
only express it.
NPCs, yeah.
Yeah, we only express it linearly because that is how our consciousness navigates through the crystalline time of
Well, I would
now.
disagree with you to an extent. That's not how consciousness operates. That's how the analytical function of the mind operates. It's
Yeah,
how
yeah,
the
yeah. That's
dichotomy of
conscious awareness.
intellectualism operates. Yeah, that's not conscious.
Yeah,
Conscious is all expansive and always existent. There's a very extreme difference.
yeah. Well, and I think that we can work towards I mean, our subconscious and our conscious mind don't really speak the same language, but I think that they can learn to understand each other and communicate more effectively. Because like I'm a very like my hemispheres are like 49-51 balance. I was supposed to be left-handed, and I was like taught. My mom was a very good mom. I learned how to write and read by the time I was 3. When I was 5, whenever I went to kindergarten, I was barely 5. I mean, I just barely turned 5. I was the smallest kid in the class. And my dad was very superstitious, and he found out that I was left-handed, and he forced me to use my right hand, which was very difficult. It was basically like cutting my arm off, my good arm, and like learning to do it all again. It was, but I think now it's like it. I'm an ambivert as well, and it it's like your hemispheres are like they are in communication, but they each have their own gifts, and you can work on developing one side or the other by certain exercises that you do, and you can actually program your own brain,
Yeah,
much like
you've
a
lost me.
computer.
You've lost me a bit in a lot of jargon that I'm not familiar with. It sounds like the Monroe Institute, like
A
their
little bit, yeah.
HemiSync program, right?
A little bit, yeah, because they naturally do like sync up with tones. Singing bowls are another thing that is very similar. That's less technological.
Well, yeah, nasal oscillation would also bring you in line with that as well.
Yeah, I hum with things in in the environment. Like if I like hear bees buzzing, I can hum with them in resonance, and it's
Go ahead and take a moment to take a deep breath. And
yeah.
are you pulling in oxygen through both nostrils or the left or the right?
I have a dominant. My left is more dominant in some things, and my right is more dominant in others. But with my
No,
nasal passages,
right now, yeah.
yeah, my nasal passages, my left is more dominant right now, but it
Right
isn't
now,
always.
if you become aware and you
Mhm.
inhale,
Well, and I try and do that
breathe with
several
me,
times a day.
Yeah, take a moment to breathe. Are you feeling more left center, or right center? Or...
I do yoga in the morning, so I feel pretty balanced right now. And what I do generally is I do tree pose, but I do a variation where I do toe lifts on when I'm
Do you
in tree pose,
toe
and then I
lifts? Yeah, that's a
switch.
good one for the calves. Do you do barking dog or
I
creeping
don't.
snake?
I'll no,
No.
I don't. I've never really expanded
Uh,
it.
do you do mooing cow,
Nope.
clucking chicken?
No, I do have a rooster and baby chicks. We have 11 baby chicks. I thought we had 13, but we have 11.
Okay.
But
Clucking rooster's a good one. I like to do that, first thing in
I
the
do
morning when the sun's coming up. I'm like, cock-a-doodle doo. And the
I do
Texas
have
always
a
says,
thing that
any
I do
cock'll do.
in addition where I like put my arms up like I'm like putting them up like to where they're like at right angles and my hands are like about the level of the top of my head. And then I just
Yeah.
shake them forward and back. So that would be kind of like flying a chicken, like a chicken flying, like how
Yeah,
chickens do
that's a
that.
good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like
And that one just kind of like
to do
loosens
that
me
one.
up
Scratching the
where
floor with your foot a little bit,
yeah. And
poking
I
at
you
it.
know,
Yeah,
I like also
that's
do a
good
lot of
magic right there.
sitting, but I do move myself around and I do sit on my knees a lot. It actually, I'm pigeon toed, but for some reason it doesn't.
Okay, okay.
I walk straight
I gotcha.
subconsciously. I like, because if I'm tired, I'll start getting more pigeon toed. But a lot of
Right.
things in my body, I've made them automatic correction just by
Well,
programming myself.
in Chinese qigong, like though, if you get tired, like you said, and you become more pigeon-toed, actually the sinking in the coursing of the body is a preservation of energy. So that seems
Yeah,
very natural to me. Mary at Sea Level says that she has three roosters in her house, and
crazy. They get along.
yeah,
We had
yeah,
two,
I don't
but one
know.
of them
I don't raise roosters, so do roosters typically not get along?
no,
I
they
mean,
usually they don't.
more than
They
one
don't like
cock in the
each other.
house is not a good thing, right?
Unless there's no hens, because sometimes they can get along if there's no hens, because they have no reason to compete with each other. I've
Is
been
that
told.
right? Is
But
that
the
right?
roosters that we had, one of them, we had two. I was like, this is not a great idea, but my guy brought home these two roosters, and we were planning on getting some hens, but one of them got the dogs got it, and the other one made it, it's established itself so the dogs didn't mess with it at all. And it
Okay.
because he's a total badass. He's the one rooster we have now, and he actually left
Oh,
the yard and went down the street to somebody else's place where they had chickens, and he like coerced a hen, to come home with him, and now we have babies.
very cool. Yeah, very cool. That's quite a stud that you've
Yeah,
got
he's
there. Yeah.
awesome. He's beautiful. I wonder if I could go find him in the yard so I could show you, because he's really beautiful, and the chicks should be out and about. They're so cute. He's very good daddy. He very protective. I did manage to pick up one of the chicks the other day because I
Okay.
want them to be a little bit more friendly, like to where I can like put them in the coop overnight, because they right now they're just
Yeah.
free range.
Yeah.
In the yard
Domesticate
we
them.
have a big fence. They
Get
can
some
escape,
eggs.
but they come back. It would be nice to get some eggs.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
eggs are super expensive right now. They say that the fertility president, he's bringing
he's
down
still
the price of
pretty
eggs.
good. Can you
Oh,
see him?
Mr. T 47. No, I can't. Let me see. Let me zoom in on this. Oh yeah, yeah, I can see him. Is that a Kentucky rooster? That looks like
I'm
a
not sure. Someone gave him to us, and he's just very pretty
yeah, that
boy.
looks
He
like
let me touch him before, but he's gonna run away probably.
yeah,
But
no,
he's
I
got
was
this
in Tennessee
beautiful.
for a while. That's a Kentucky red.
Oh, and there's mommy and the chickens in the garden,
I
in the
used to
flower
go down
garden.
to the flea market and they had names for all of them. They got like Chinese snow chickens and
See the babies?
uh
Oh,
yeah, that's an orange one right there, right? That's not a
yeah,
red.
that's his hen, and she's a good mommy.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Very pretty.
Oh, I'm
Good
getting a
looking
phone
out.
call. I will be right back.
Oh, okay. All right, do your thing. Yes, indeed. You guys saw it here first. A fucking Kentucky red and a nice orange chicken. And so a chicken will say, "Bawk, bawk, 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 bawk," and a rooster will say, "Cock a doodle doo," right? Because his cock will doodle doo. It'll get shit done. And the old hen, "Bawk, bawk, 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 cock." Big cock, right? That's what she likes. The hen likes the big cock, and the cock says his cock'll doodle doo. So good stuff with the chickens, man. I can appreciate that. I like I like grilled chicken, roast chicken, um, fried chicken. Fuck, why not, right? I like uh I like chicken dumplings. I like grilled chicken on a Caesar salad. But honestly, I prefer a duck. For some reason, that duck-billed platypus, it's got greasy, dark meat, and it's just so filled with vitality and energy. When I eat chicken, I feel tired, like I gotta fucking take a nap afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just so common and they're yeah, I don't know. It's just something about chickens. And then they're more like a lizard, really, right? But when I eat duck, it's a little closer to a fish. It's always hanging out in the water, swimming around, flying. Chickens don't fly. Where's a fucking chicken gonna go? It's got nowhere to go. You got nothing to do. Uh, Always strutting around, little clawed feet. But ducks, and maybe it's because I'm a water sign, but for some reason, Peking duck is one of the best dishes you'll ever eat in your entire life. In fact, the Southerners fry up a duck and it's called xiaoya. It's the most wonderful, greasy, delicious, and you eat it with plum sauce. And I've broadcast many times here on the channel eating a Peking duck and a Southern style xiaoya, and it's the most wonderful thing ever. So if you're gonna raise game birds, I would say go with the pheasant. They got tiny little eggs. You could also go with a pigeon, but ducks, man. Yeah, ducks are messy. You got to be a decent farmer, a pretty good farmer, in order to be able to raise ducks or pigs. I mean, think about how fucking messy pigs are, right? Welcome back, Zephyr. Um, uh, Mary at Sea Level, she says that um, ducks are too messy, and I gave up. And she doesn't like messy ducks because they make their own private spot. I want geese, and I'll make their own private spot. Yeah. So if you don't know Zephyr, Mary at Sea Level, she's a member of the 51st state of the United States, Canada, and she lives in a little section, a county. She lives in a county called Nova Scotia, which is right on the border of the East Coast, the Niagara Falls in New York, I believe. You guys,
Yeah,
go
I've got a
ahead.
lot of Canadian friends.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, the online Canadian friends. Most of them are in Vancouver and Alberta. I have one in Toronto, but
She says Heil Trump. Yeah. She's ready to give up on Trudeau and make herself an American so she can own a gun and
really,
have freedom of,
that's
yeah, and have,
crazy because like
I
most
mean,
of the
who
Canadians I know just think that's ridiculous.
who doesn't want freedom of speech, right? And gun rights and right to privacy because they don't have any of that, right? They're still a commonwealth of the United Kingdom. And
Yeah,
here's the strange thing to me, like as a Canadian and as bowing to the United Kingdom and the crown, they don't talk about their king, right? Didn't the wonderful Queen Victoria pass into the abodes of the unseen not long ago?
it was
And
Elizabeth, wasn't it?
okay, and her son is his name Edward or
Charles.
Thomas?
Charles.
Okay, Charles, you see how versed I am in their culture. Um, the last queen I remember was Victoria, and the last king I remember was Edward. George is the one we overthrew, right?
Yeah, that was quite a long time ago.
Yeah. So, my curiosity to the Canadians out there who do bow and kiss the crown of the king, you said it's Charles. Is he the man?
For now, I think.
He's the
But
one
I
that
think
wants to be reincarnated as a virus to destroy humanity.
yeah, I
A
don't know
crowd.
anything about that, but
You
I
don't
know
remember
that
that? He said that, right? A crown virus, I think is exactly what he said. A
I've
corona
got a puppy on my
virus.
ankle right now. Ugh, he's
Yeah,
like
that's okay.
he's trying to take my pants down.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds sexy.
Yeah, no, it's
I,
not. It's not.
I hope
He's
your
just grabbing
husband's
my
not
the ankle of
there,
my
right?
pants and
Oh.
tug of warring it because they're pretty cute puppies. I think maybe the little
Oh,
one might
yeah.
actually be a Chihuahua, like, and
Oh,
the other one's
God.
much
No, are you
bigger.
serious? Are you
I
going to
hope
keep
he
it in your
is because I
purse?
will carry him in my purse everywhere.
Oh, my
He'll
God.
be my
That's
little
fucking
baby doll.
horrible.
But he
Yeah,
was so
that's.
malnutritioned when I
I'm
brought him in.
horrified by that.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
he looks the same as the biggest pup the other pup copper that we kept, but he's tiny, tiny, tiny compared to the other one. And his color is a little bit like more ruddy. The bigger one is more red. So maybe they do have different daddies. The mommy was not she was not our dog, and she I think she just got the neighborhood dogs are the daddies because we live in a neighborhood where nobody keeps their dogs in except for us.
All right,
And
and sorry, it was Prince Philip from Buckingham Palace who said that he wanted to reincarnate as a deadly virus to solve the
ah,
overpopulation
leave him
problem.
alone.
And he's dead now at age 99. Good riddance, right? I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah,
Uh,
recycled.
yeah, he died in
Every
2009. Man, that was quite a while ago. So yeah, I'm out of touch. See, and that's what I mean by this, and that's why I asked you, as a Canadian, right? Since you're a Canadian and you bow to the crown, as it were, why don't you know more about the situation there in the ruling kingdom? that you're not keeping abreast of what King Charles is up to. Why has it been radio silence? There's literally been zero information coming out about the current situation with the king.
You're not asking me, are you? Because I'm not Canadian.
Oh, yeah, oh, you're not? Okay, that's right.
No,
You,
I
you
have
said you
Canadian
have
friends.
Canadian friends though, yeah.
Yeah,
Do they
yeah.
discuss it with you? Do they talk about
Uh,
it?
a little bit, not a lot. There's a lot of talk about what's her name that married one of the princes, Diana's sons, and how they kind of like don't want anything to do with the whole thing. But I don't really
Okay.
know much about it. I kind of don't really follow politic that much
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
don't
more of an
much either,
anarchist.
yeah. Trudeau recently resigned, is that a fact?
I heard that he did, yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't
they
know
say
who's
their
taking over though.
rando fucking guy Mark is prime minister that nobody voted for. Wow,
That's
fascinating.
doesn't seem right. Kind of
Well,
like
they're not allowed to. I mean, as peasants, right? Aren't they all peasants in Canada? So why would they have a right to vote as a peasant?
I don't know. I thought they did though.
Do they? They participated in some sham democratic process?
Yeah, kind of like ours. Yeah. America's, I mean.
So you don't think that 75% of the population voted for Trump this time?
No, I think they did, but I think that it's still a sham, like, because we don't get to pick the candidates, really. I mean,
Okay,
they're all
yeah,
chosen
makes
for us.
sense. Makes sense. You don't think he was running for president for like 12 years on television?
I think that it was probably not planned out that way. No, I think,
No, really? Really?
yeah, I don't
When
even
did
think I don't
wasn't
even
he
think
like
he
30
wanted to be president until he lost the
wasn't he
Miss America or the Miss
wasn't
Universe.
yeah, was it wasn't he 37 when he announced his run for presidency?
I don't know. And I don't know if that would make any difference. I think maybe it was just a fated sort of
Yeah,
thing, one of those fated things, you know? But I think
yeah,
it sure made him look
fascinating.
good because he has not been really all that successful in his businesses, but it was all
Right.
scripted and it made him look really
Because
good.
because business leaders other than him are successful, right?
Well, not all of
Do you
them, but a
suffer
lot of
from
them
a
are.
little bit of TDS, a little bit of Trump derangement syndrome, just a
Oh
little
no,
bit?
no.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Actually, I don't support any politicians really, but I mean, I honestly I've seen
But
that he's been
do
bankrupt
you
a few times.
let me ask you this? Yeah, do you vilify any other business leaders?
Um, Greedy people in general, I do not support.
Okay, so other than Trump's bankruptcies, what business leader can you testify to on his number of bankruptcies?
I don't know that many details about that many other ones, but I like
Right. So
the
for
people
some
that run
reason,
the Federal
Trump's
Reserve,
failures in
guys,
business
and I don't know
are more
many of their
apparent to
names.
you than anyone else out there, right? Like Bill Gates
Ted
or
Turner is pretty bad.
Musk or
He's very successful
yeah.
though. Um,
Mm-hmm. Why is he successful?
I guess all the money. I don't know.
Good
He's
question,
got
right?
telecommunications. He did the Turner Network Television, um, all sorts of things. And then there's the Walton, the Walmart guy. I know a little bit about them because I used to work for Walmart. But yeah,
Yeah, it's just interesting to me how many people attack Trump because of this, that,
I'm
or
not
the other
attacking
thing,
him. I
right?
think he was supposed
And
to
try
have
to
him.
vilify his character and say, "Oh, he's a failed businessman,"
I would do the same to
even
anybody.
though,
I just think that the truth is
right?
more important than being right.
Well, no, the fact is, it's not the truth.
So are you denying
All
that
the
he's
biz,
had bankruptcies and failed businesses and that his dad gave him the majority of his seed money? like all of it
No, no,
actually.
no, no. I'm just curious as to why you're so specific about him when every single one of them, David Rockefeller, Ted Turner,
Yeah, they're all
Sam Donaldson, they're all in the same list of receiving R&D from the American people, tons of government subsidies, and they all go bankrupt every single year. The banks go bankrupt, Walmart goes bankrupt. Every single corporation is under the same umbrella of support from the fiat currency. And
yeah, I
why
know.
is it that
That's
Trump,
problematic.
in specific, you have very many details about him? That's called a derangement syndrome.
Is
The
it?
fact is, you're deranged and focusing on him. It's an
That's just what I know the
obsessive
most facts
compulsive
about,
disorder. It's
because I used to
TDS.
be
It's just
really
classic
anti-Trump,
orange
and I'm
man
not.
bad.
I'm not
Orange man bad
anti-Trump.
right now.
I'm not
Yeah.
anti-Trump.
Then I'm
I
just
think,
wondering why you had so many specifics about him, right? And you're able to call out this, that, and the
well,
other
because
thing. But how
my
many of
mom
how
actually,
many of
like,
the positive things can you name that he's done?
the positive things. Oh,
Any?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe whenever he destroyed that beach in Scotland to make golf courses. No, sorry, that's facetious. Uh, uh, I've just seen a lot of. He's in the media a lot more than the other ones. That's probably why I have more facts about him uh, to reference, because that is what has been presented more. But I
Okay.
don't think that his show, what I think it was a lot scripted, and I don't know that he. I mean, I do know that he has gone bankrupt several times.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm just wondering because I've been sitting on the sidelines since the very beginning. I went
Yeah,
through The Apprentice. I watched it all played out. I had the entire mainstream media and all of family and friends opposing and saying, "Oh, it'll never happen. Trump will never become president." And I'm
yeah, I
like,
think
guys,
that was
why don't you No, let me finish, please. Thank you. I let you finish. I said, guys, why don't you reflect back to like the 1980s when we were kids and this
right.
whole entire thing was developing through People magazine and appearances in the media? And how can you deny that that's just been a run since day one, from every single interview and every way he's positioned himself for this to become a reality? And oh, it'll never happen. They're just suffering from this debilitating Trump derangement syndrome and Orange Man bad, And then, of course, he became president. It all played out. And what happened? The entire right wing of the Eagle became silent and let the left just go fucking bananas with constant attacks and deplatforming and just nonstop, endless vitriol and Russia, 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 right? And there's just so much of it that we sat by silently and watched, right? And then came the second run, and it was an absolute debacle. And again, we remained silent. And it wasn't until the great concourse of the last election that the genuine people stepped forward and let their voices be heard. And now it's like, now we've been so tolerant of this just absolute asinine horseshit that finally we've got a little bit of ground, and now we're like, okay guys, enough is enough. Stop burning down our fucking cities. Stop flooding our nation with immigrants from every unwashed country, and let's let some greatness play out. Let's let some law enforcement come in. Let's pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and stop begging for handouts and be genuine people again. And still, they cannot stop it, right? 90% of the left that was directly opposed and talked a fucking gang of shit for the last decade is now subtly shifting over and being like, oh, maybe we should have a conversation. And that's always the way it goes. Like, they're willing to violently attack us and even murder us in the street. But then at the same time, when they lose and they put themselves on their heels, then they're like, oh, now it's time to have a conversation. Now we should take it easy, guys. Now we should do this, do that, do the other thing. And I haven't heard a single person that was always like, oh, you're a Trumpian, you're a Trumpite, you love Trumple thin skin or this kind of thing. Um, what did Biden do for you? What did
Nothing.
Clinton do
I
for
I
you?
talked as much shit about him as I do any other politician.
Did you
And as a matter of
really? I'd
fact,
like to
like
see the
when Trump
receipts for
won,
that. I'd show me some fucking receipts. Yeah, for your
when
talking
Trump
shit
won,
about
I
Biden.
actually was on a panel where they were reviewing a bunch of Dems that were like, being crybabies, and I was quite hard on them, the crying Democrats, because
Okay,
I
I don't doubt it, but we all know that Trump's had bankruptcies. We all know that he had money coming into the game, right? And that's a big part of it too. He didn't take a single presidential salary, right? So a man that's willing to risk his already in invested endowment for a position that doesn't really benefit him in any way other than trying to course correct for the country, for the actual idea that he has, which is MAGA. And I know that it's a hard thing for a lot of people to swallow, but it's just a genuine thing. I'm not saying he's a Christ-like figure or any kind of savior. And you said it, maybe it was fated. I don't believe that for a fucking minute. The motherfucker worked on it from the ground up. It's a grassroots thing. He planted seeds and he didn't pull at them. He let them grow naturally. And it's just an amazing thing, really. It's watching a man at the top of his game let people know that he fucking worked for it and he's got a reason to be there. And the policy shifts that they're making are actually beneficial for the American people. And chew on the fucking turd of what it is that America is actually going to be a better place for him having served,
hope you're
and
right,
let that sink
honestly.
in. Yeah, no, I don't give a fuck about being right. I
No, I mean, I hope
care
that that's
about
correct.
where it started and how it was built up brick by brick over time. And watching another Freemasonic brother with the ring build the pyramid and place the fucking pyramidine capstone on top to represent an ideal that has been generating since 1776, and that
Yeah,
we
we're
actually
in similar
represent
astrological
something.
alignment right now
Yeah, yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. I can see your insidious nature and the
No,
fact
no.
that
What?
yes, you have these preconceived ideas. You have this dirt to bring
No,
forward,
you're taking me totally wrong now.
grab her
I
by the
just said we're
pussy,
in the
this
same
kind of thing. I know
astrological
it's
alignment
fucking
as
nonsensical horse shit
1776.
that we've all already heard. It's not
Oh
Russia,
my.
Russia, Russia. You don't have to be deranged by the orange man. Just fucking chill out, take
I'm
your
not.
heels, take your
Now
loss. Yeah,
now I feel like
yeah.
you're biased in against me in a way that is
No,
not.
I'm not biased against you. You brought it forward. Your exact response to me making a simple statement
I
was,
was just giving a little
oh, but what
pushback.
about this? What about that? But what about that? What about
I'm
that?
just
How does any
I'm
of
just
that
asking
fucking
questions.
matter? You, no, you're not asking questions. You're trying to vilify a great
I
man based on weak circumstantial
He
evidence that has
thinks
nothing to
Donald
do with
protests
reality.
too much, so I think I'm going to step away
Do
for
your
now,
thing.
and I'll be
Yeah,
back. I like
yeah,
you a
that's
lot,
fine.
and I want to be your friend.
Uh,
I hope this
I
doesn't.
well, I don't like that at all. Yeah, and it does it fucking kind of puts a little bit of a dog turd in our relationship. In that the fact that it's an obvious ploy. If you had been genuine
I'm
in
not
any
trying to
way, like,
convince you of anything. I'm
no,
just
it's
giving a little
entirely
pushback.
superficial and it's disingenuine. So you know it is what it is, and I'm not going to tolerate it.
All
And
right.
yeah,
Well, we'll talk to
so
you later,
thank
maybe.
you for tuning in. I appreciate seeing you once again, but
All right.
to each his
Well,
own.
have a great night.
But folks that would like to tune in and watch you in your negligee, how can we find you? No, no. Okay, so she dipped out without even saying goodbye. And it is what it is, guys. We've worked really hard to bring about a MAGA resurgence, right? And if motherfuckers don't want America to be great again, I mean, then go represent another country. It's a very simple thing. And to be so disingenuous with trying to vilify the head nigger in charge at this point just doesn't make sense to me. Like, even subtle slights at the progress that's been made. It's like you're gonna come and throw fucking incendiaries at my Tesla because you're dissatisfied with the current state of things. I mean, what the fuck is that? How many cities need to be burned down for this Marxist, communist, leftist ideology of some sort of like hydrofeminism? I mean, I'm a man, it's what I am, and I appreciate and always respect the feminine ideal, and the absolutely the divine feminine has always been represented here on my channel. But there is natural law, and there is men and women, and there's a situation that we're battling against, a very evil spiritual warfare that's engaged. And it's that kind of fucking rhetoric that makes young students in school say, oh, the best thing I can do for the world is kill myself. I mean, come on. I can't let that take root or be seated anywhere in my territory. I'm just not going to fucking tolerate it, and I'm not going to stand for it. Every individual needs to stand upright and realize that they are a divine representation of the God force, and they are valuable, absolutely valuable. Trump has every right to be president as any star in the sky, just as much right as you have to come up here and chat with me and be in chat and voice your opinion, which I will definitely fight against tooth and nail for any type of malignment of another individual's character, when every single one of those corporate leaders stands upon the same back as every one of us, and everyone else has received the same R&D, the same government subsidies. Isn't a fucking single one among them. You show me a single one. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jack Ma, fucking Rockefeller, whoever, they all stand upon our backs. And to try to point him out and single him out and say, oh, I got a ton of dirt on this guy. Oh, really? Oh, really? Okay. If that's the way you play it, then I mean, fuck, you know, throw shade. Make sure that you come with the shade that is equally represented, right? You guys talk about uh, equity. Where's the equity in attacking this one guy just because he's at the fucking head of the charge right now, right? Uh, it's fucking retardo. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I can't tolerate it. I think it's disgusting. I think that it's extreme Trump derangement syndrome. If you're going to spend time gathering that type of mud on the one man who is leading us out of the darkness right now, and he's not the only man, of course, but good God, he's the content president. He's fucking head nigger in charge. He's the commander in chief of the military forces. He's flying the flag, and it's disgraceful, is what it is. Have you no shame? Like old the little girl from Sweden used to say, "How dare you? How dare you? Have you no shame? You stole my childhood." Oh my God, you stole my fucking childhood. All right, y'all, good looking, sexy people. I appreciate you tuning in. The truth of the matter is that just like I had gotten long in the tooth, and it's well past my bedtime, and I need to wander off into the abodes of the future. And until next time, guys, make sure you check me out on www.buymeacoffee.com and check out Zephyr Avoxel on her channel. I think she mentioned it. There's her name. There you go. Give her a like, sub her channel, all that happy horse shit that makes YouTube's algorithms bark like Pavlov's dog. And I will finish off with the invocation of total integration, everyone. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Mary, uh, Zephyr, whoever you are, wherever you are, and whenever you may be receiving this transmission, keep doing good magic. Just checking the chat, guys, to see if anybody else had tuned in throughout the show. Rude Girl, thank you for being here. High Priestess of the Esoteric Order of Dagon, free gift from God. Good talking at you, man. I appreciate you being here. And here we go. Invocation of total integration. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth. Heaven and earth are the spontaneous manifestations of the subtle, wondrous universal law. As the original oneness expresses itself, gross and subtle energies become distinctly divided. Our bodily caves are brightly illuminated by the mysterious light from the three sources: infernal Dantian, terrestrial Dantian, celestial Dantian, bridge points leading to immortality. The powerful spirits of the eight directions can join our being with the true origin of life. By the absolute order of the divine Lingbao in the highest ninth heaven, send the positive energies of Qianluo, Dana, Duncan, and Taishuan to destroy our spiritual obstacles and debilitate any evil influence. The powerful spirits respond and generate endless beneficial energy. The Chi of Tao is everlasting. The evil demon king Wolong is chained to stand as our guardian servant. The powerful atmosphere has been generated, dispersing all negativity. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Remember, O neophyte, goodness alone is power, silence is strength, will regaineth omnipotence, and love lieth at the foundation. Until next time, everyone, keep doing good magic, and I will see you in the abodes of the future.